or in the upside down, or the right side up now, guys.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's
How's it going, everybody? It's Nerds again. Big episode. Fucking, I'm super excited. I can barely contain myself. We just saw Street Fighter 6. What's up, everybody? It's Jesse here with everybody's favorite Uncle Aaron, Jean-Claude Van Damme Mueller, and everybody's favorite bearded Viking, James.
Hey, finally a nice little.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you guys can't fucking. I keep tossing the ball,
yeah.
but we can't. It's just woo. There's just so much to get
Oh,
to.
yeah.
It's just how are you
Yeah.
guys doing this week?
Well,
I
we're all
like it.
sick. We're all sick. Kind of.
Kind
Yeah.
of, maybe, possibly, but it's okay. We're gonna survive.
It's weird because we were all making out, so that's one thing. But I mean, I
Uh-huh.
don't think it's connected, to be honest.
Definitely connected.
Maybe not.
the three-way kiss, I don't think did it. I'm gonna be honest.
I wanted, you know what? I had a thing I wanted to bring up. Remember when I talked about last week when I brought up like, yo, GameFAQs has been asking some weird questions lately.
Yes.
So the next morning, I wake up. I'm pretty sure this isn't the one that I brought up. The next morning, I wake up, and GameFAQs asks, when you make purchases, how do you usually pay for them? Debit card, credit card,
The fuck?
PayPal, cash? And I was like, hey, man, the fuck? Then another one they ended up asking was, have you ever used your neighbor or anyone else's unsecured internet without asking permission? And it's
What
like,
the
hey,
fuck?
man, you're asking me if I just committed a crime.
Right.
How about you
Yeah.
just ask me, like, hey, just ask me who would win a fight, Zelda or Sephiroth?
Exactly.
Like, why are you asking me if I'm schmoozing my neighbor's internet and possibly getting into his hard drive and seeing his wife's nudie pictures? That's none of your business. Sorry, Mark. But yeah, I just thought that GameFAQs needs to chill out.
By the way, I told my wife about you telling that old guy at work, hey, man, hey, bud, don't talk to other people's kids.
Yeah,
And she was like, good.
yeah, dude. Yeah, man, it's not cool. There's still that one person who was like, you blew it up. No. Hey,
No,
man.
bro. That guy, who knows with that guy? You can't be like taking chances. Clearly, we've had like fucking 5 mass shootings in the since we last recorded. We've had a bunch of crazy ass shit going on. So can't trust
Yeah.
nobody, especially with little kids, man.
Yeah.
These like cute little kids just trying to buy hot chocolate, and you're already like, I don't know if I should sell hot chocolate to you because it's kind of weird that your fucking parents are here. And then this old guy's like, hey, you guys, you're so cute.
You're so mature for your age.
Oh, no. Oh, so mature for your
God.
age.
Yeah,
You-
man. Plus,
really-
also,
You
not
really
even
dress like a
gonna
little
lie,
tart.
Not even gonna lie, I also like the people are so desperate and just scummy that I also don't trust parents to use their children to set people up. So like I don't like communicate with children unless like adults are around. And like I said with that example, I'm like, oh, 2 little girls came up. All right, cool. Hey, female coworker, you deal with them. Like I
Yeah.
do not talk to children because I don't want them being like, what did you say to my kid? I didn't say shit. I told them to find you, bitch.
I got to tell you, as an uncle, it's like kids always want to play with me when I'm with my niece in the playground. I've noticed this because no adults fucking play with their kids.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to me. I'm like, I feel so bad for these kids because me and my niece are running around. We're like, she's making the floor lava and doing spells and all kinds of shit. And then like someone else's kid comes over and goes, ice spell. And I'm like, oh boy. So then I had to be like, oh, thanks. You saved me. Like the floor is now solid. Thanks a lot. Saved my feet. And then I go to run away and she's like, I'm an elemental. And I'm like, cool, man. Gotta go. And then this other kid is like on these this just happened last weekend at her after her soccer game, climbing around on this like spider web thing. And he's like, I'm Spider-Man. And my niece was saying she was like a spider queen. And he's like, watch this. And he's doing all these tricks. And I'm like, cool, man. That's awesome, dude. And he's like, come over here. I'm like, no, absolutely no. And then he's like, can you
Absolutely
help
not,
me
dude.
over here? And I'm like, definitely no. I'm not touching you. It's fucking.
Yeah, but do you get the weird stares because you have a big beard like Santa Claus, but it's not white. So they're
No.
kind of like, hey, look at this guy. This is definitely Santa.
Well, you get that because you're like, come sit on my lap, little boy. And they're like, but your
I've
beard's
definitely
brown.
been called Santa before and heard somebody said, look, Santa.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
ah, come on.
You're like, it's Satan, you idiot. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
let my kids sit on your lap. Or then the kid's like fucking like, you're my legendary mount. Give me a piggyback. No.
yeah.
And then
It's,
you're the bad guy.
yeah, it's very
Right.
weird. Like I remember when my niece was like probably 3 or 4. She was like just in the early stages of like conversational talking. We
Yeah.
were playing at the playground. And some little kid like her age was like, "Can you help me on the swing?" Because I was pushing her, and I was like, and she just looked so sad. So then I was like, "Well, if you hop up, I guess I'll give you a push." And then I was like, "I don't know what to do." This poor little fucking kid just wants somebody desperately to play with them, right? And I'm like,
Yeah, just to push him on the swing.
"Where the fuck are your
Aw.
parents?" And like, taking your kid to the playground isn't like, all right, bye, go do whatever. Like you should
Yeah.
interact with your children. Like, I get it, we're all tired, but I got a fucking job too, man. Like, I'm not,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And people are always like, you're
Well-
such a good uncle. I'm like, it's not fucking hard, man. Get on the ground and play with kids at their level. That's all you got to do. And kids are like your best friend. You're the coolest person on earth because you're a grown up who plays like a kid. It's not hard. But everybody's like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's magic. I'm like, it's not fucking magic. I remember being a kid and knowing 0 adults who would actually just like play. Like just
Yeah.
use their imagination because they let it dry up. Anyways, sorry.
But yeah, no, that's very true. But
So
we are here
This week,
to talk about a lot of dope shit.
Yeah.
Sony State of Play just happened with some really cool announcements. We got Stranger Things. I think we're all caught up at the end of season 4, part 1.
yes,
Yes.
Awesome. So we're gonna spoil.
Volume 1.
volume 1. Thank you.
Sorry, we're gonna spoil that shit for you. And Obi-Wan, I didn't watch the third episode. So we got Obi-Wan, Stranger Things, State of Play, and then there's some cool news here and there. And I think that's probably going to take up
A lot
the
of
whole
time.
fucking night. Yeah, because we're gonna do. We got some weeks, but I mean, I think you should at least say a couple things. I know Aaron used to like, I'm not gonna do a week, but you did do something cool this weekend.
I did. I'll talk about it. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's been
So, I'll go.
Oh wait,
quick.
also, really quick, my bad. Watch us on Twitch. We got dope t-shirts. Buy t-shirts. We're also on YouTube now. Just want to say that ahead of time
Yes.
in case. But yeah, I think
Forget.
that's it. All right.
Yes, definitely. I have not streamed in 2 weeks because I am not playing any video games that I want to stream. Like I literally,
I'm streaming like a motherfucker, so come on
But
by.
you should be streaming the vampire game because it is doing okay.
yeah, it's doing all right, but I haven't played it. I literally haven't touched it in
Wow.
since Friday.
What vampire game?
V Rising,
Vampire Diaries or something.
which I'll go into. James, my friend Justin, and I have all been playing V Rising a little bit together. It's an isometric survival game, so it's almost like a Valheim or like a Rust, but it's like top-down Diablo style. I also like it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of upkeep, and like a lot of farming and shit, which I don't really like, but the combat's pretty fun, and there's like little bosses you can hunt down, and killing them gives you like new recipes to build and like new types of things you can make in your castle or whatever. But it doesn't have inverted camera controls, and I realized neither does Salt and Sacrifice, but I barely have to touch the camera in that game, so like when I do, I'm just looking up to see if there's anything above me or down to see if I can jump down on something. But I realized like I'm like worried about playing these games because like I don't want to I don't want to rework my brain. I've spent 25 years playing games inverted. I don't want to like undo that and have to try to relearn everything.
Yeah.
But I've been playing more Salt and Sanctuary than Sacrifice because Sacrifice just becomes hunting mages over and over again. It's like kind of annoying. And I'm pretty far in Salt and Sanctuary. I beat this boss that's apparently a really hard one. It took me like 5 tries. And I can see why it was annoying because it's what got exacerbated in Sacrifice. It's this thing called the Tree of Men. And it's like a giant tree with hanged men in it.
Hung men
Yeah, hung men who have been hanged in it, and you got to cut their dicks off.
hanging from their dicks.
You have to like kill the men, the corpses, and then you have to kill the tree. And it's a vertical fight, but as you're climbing up like these different levels, there's like flamethrowers on the sides that randomly turn on, and you just have to like kind of dodge around all that. And he does these stomp attacks, and there's two little holes on the side that he'll knock you into. And I died probably 5 times just getting knocked down the hole. But once I figured out, because like the second or third time I had all the corpses dead, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. And I jumped, and I saw up at his head he had like a red spot, but I swung at it, and I swear it didn't do any damage. So I was like, well, that's not it. So then I was like trying to hit his legs, and I got knocked off, but that was it. So I got through that, and then I don't really know where to go now. So I just kind of meandered around, and then I haven't done anything else. I played some Trails. I'm really close to the end of that, I believe. I'm at the end of the last chapter, which will usually then have an epilogue, but shit's starting to ramp up, and some cool stuff is happening. I watched Obi-Wan, which we'll talk about, watched Stranger Things, which we'll talk about, and this weekend I went and saw Paul McCartney with my wife, and it was a miserable trip. It sucked all the way up. It sucked all the way back down. Her sister got us a hotel, which was at the fucking Howard Johnson. Bless her heart, she didn't know that Howard Johnson was shit because she lives in Maryland, and I don't think they have many of them there, but never stay at a Howard Johnson. It's a trash hotel. It's owned by Wyndham or whatever, or Hyatt or Hilton or somebody, but it was garbage.
It's just a hotel. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bed.
Yeah,
It was
but at
garbage.
Aaron's level, it's
No. There's no level. Well, I've worked at hotels. I worked at Marriott's, and I love Marriott's. I would stay at any Courtyard, which is a $75 to $80 hotel a night. They're great. I would stay at any Spring Hill
Marriott
Suites.
Courtyard.
Yeah, bro.
Those got it. Nah, those got to be $120, $150 now.
Those are a 3-star property, my man.
I mean, I don't know, dude, because I've been.
I don't know, but
even like a shitty motel for a night is like 100, 120.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, what they say is the room rate, and then they add on tax and fucking resort
and they like
fees.
charge you more per person.
Do they?
Some will.
Well, I just
we used to go in as one person when we were a band, and we'd buy a room as one, and then 4 of us would stay.
Man, when I was
like, wait, you guys got 4 people? And it's like, yeah. It's like, well, I already finished charging you, so.
Or you just say, no, these are just some friends that are coming by to like hang out for a bit.
Right.
But yeah, I remember. I used to be super broke when I was like early 20s. Me and a girlfriend of mine were hella broke, but we wanted to go to the drive-in movies a lot. So I would she had one of those Passats. Was it a Passat? Something Volkswagen, where the seat came down. So I would just roll into the trunk, and then we'd just pay for one drive-in movie ticket.
That is what we used to do at national parks too a lot. When we would go to the Springs, we would always go to Springs. Me and my friends my friends lived up in DeLand, and their parents owned a bed and breakfast, so we always had a free room. And DeLand is like just northeast of Orlando, so we were pretty close to all of the different springs up there. So we would go, and to pay for the park was $1 each or whatever. So we would just all climb in the trunk, and then just one person would pay $1, and we'd all get out and swim. But yeah, so we saw Paul McCartney. He was actually great live. We had like 3 years ago, we saw Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, and he was fucking elderly. Like, they're all elderly, right? But he was like someone's like his like fucking someone's grandpa who's like drooling in a wheelchair. They literally wheeled him out and just stuck him in front of a piano and turned the light over him off because he was so sad to look at. And he was like, it was really bad. But Paul McCartney was fucking great. He sounded great. I don't care about Wings generally, his band after the Beatles, but there's a lot of songs
I didn't even know that. Wings. I didn't even know that. A
lot of the songs you'll think are the Beatles are Wings. They just came out, when we were kids. So like, you knew it sounded like the Beatles, but there's a lot of songs that are actually Wings. So, it was fun.
I don't like the Beatles.
I don't really care about the Beatles, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody likes a song or two by the Beatles, right? Like, there's like something that you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like Helter Skelter is like a little screamy, which I like, you know.
I
Mhm.
appreciate them being the first like boy band, but other than that, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a
I
fan.
mean, I don't really care for them, but it's
The music don't do anything.
yeah,
I feel that even though I don't listen to them or I don't care for it, I think that it's kind of I can't say undeniable because you're saying you don't like the music. I think the songs are objectively great songs. So like that's the thing. So even though the music isn't for me, yeah, I mean objectively the Beatles just their songs are very good, but I don't care for them.
yeah.
But
They're
it's good
they're
stuff. I just
fun,
don't give a fuck
poppy,
about it.
catchy shit. And then they were only a band for like I don't know 6 years or whatever. Like and in that time they changed within every album. They like did all these different
Hmm.
changes and did things. So that I mean, there's a lot of cool shit with them, but I'm not like a Beatles diehard. Um, But it was fun. It was a good show. Kelsey cried, which was on her bucket list to see a Beatle live. And he's like the only living one that's like still doing stuff. I guess Ringo lives and tours, but nobody cares about fucking Ringo. Um,
Nobody give a fuck about Ringo Dog.
but yeah, and he gets to play a lot of Beatles songs because when they um, when they broke up, like they basically said, if you wrote the song, you can sing it. You have the rights to it. So he wrote a lot of the Beatles songs.
Didn't he buy the rights to the other songs though too?
No, I think Michael
No, I
Jackson
sold them to
did.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, oh well, somebody else. I thought they came up already again. I could be
I
wrong.
don't know.
Maybe, and it could be true. I don't know, but he gets to play a lot of Beatles songs, so we got to hear a lot of that. It was good, and his drummer was fucking awesome. He was like a younger black dude with a long ass beard, and he was fucking going off, and he was doing all the backing vocals, and he was fucking great. But
Nice.
yeah, so that was fun. I ate at a Whole Foods up there and immediately shit my pants. Basically, like I was like, oh, I think I'm about to either throw up or shit or die. And then yeah, it was bad. And then Kelsey came in the fucking bathroom, like, you okay? I'm like, what are you doing? This is a public restroom.
New level in your marriage.
I mean, she has seen my buttholes. Like when I first got the hole in
Leveled
my
up.
ass, I showed her I was like, I need you to look at this because I don't know what's going on back there, but something's weird. And she's like, it's a pimple. I'm like, it's not a pimple. I know what a butt pimple feels like, and that is not it. But yeah. So other than that, yeah, I did nothing. I played a lot of EverQuest. They launched a new TLP, and I have been really loving playing like I'm back in high school. Like I'm playing with all the old graphics, and it's been a lot of fun. So really enjoying
Fun.
that. And I actually joined a guild last night. I was watching a Twitch streamer, and he was like, he's in the game, and he's like a super crafter, and he was like saying, like, if anyone needs help in this game, let me know, like whatever, you can join me. And so I was like, hey, I haven't really been able to find groups as easy, because like it's a lot of people doing what they call boxing, where they run two computers next to each other and they basically play two characters, so they can duo, they can like heal and tank for themselves or whatever. And so it's a lot of that. So I see people in spots, I'm like, hey, do you have room? And they're like, it's actually me, I'm just boxing by myself. And I'm like, okay, you don't want me to get some XP too? But so he was like, yeah, join up, dude, we got a lot of low levels, so I'm gonna play with them. But yeah, that's it. I just been playing EverQuest and fucking randomly playing some Salt and Sacrifice or Sanctuary.
Word. Let's see here. I got a bunch of shit I got to blast through. Started playing Tales of Arise, and it's pretty good. It's obviously super weeb shit. It's just anime, and the combat's good. I was worried about the combat. I'm not really good with combat in those kind of ARPGs. I always think back to Star Ocean. I always wanted to enjoy Star Ocean and like it. The most recent one that came out is going to be on the PS Plus thing, though, so I
Wait,
guess I will try
I
it
thought
out.
Star Ocean was turn-based.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Star Ocean has always been like that Tales of series, or it's like that. You run around and then the fight starts and then you hit the button to attack. This one though is a little more contextual, where like you can roll out of the way of the enemies and like you can parry kind of, and you can perfect dodge. Um, it does say if you block at the last moment, but there's no block button. I don't get it yet. I'm assuming a character will have a shield or some shit. But I do like it. It plays pretty well. It's a okay enough story. So I have been streaming that. Head over to the Twitch and watch some of those VODs if you want to see what that's like. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like complete it because I never complete shit, and I hear that's really long. But I do like it. Tales of Arise is pretty neato. I have to see what the fishing's like. If the fishing's cool, I'll be down.
I watched your streams and I mean it looks good. I'm with you though. Like I tried Tales of Berseria and I tried Tales on SNES and on PlayStation 1 and I just never got into it because I really like turn-based. If I'm going to play a JRPG, I don't really want to be playing like button mashy, jumpy combat. You know, I just want to like chill and like turn my brain off and farm for like 12 hours, you know? Like I don't want to do like in-depth action combat. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But
so
people
you
love those games, so I don't know.
so you can like do full control, semi control, or just let the game control it for you, which is stupid. But that's for people who just want to play the story. Just put it on story difficulty and the game will play itself for you. But it is combat to where like you can extend your combo, your like AP and stuff like that, and it's like you know, attack, 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 knock them in the air, which takes you up in the air with them, hit them in the air, and like you'll have like a thing that like what's it called? Not ability, but whatever, a plus thing where like you do more damage to enemies in the air now. So you do have to like juggle them and combo the attacks. So that's the part where I know I'm gonna end up falling off because I don't do very well with combo-y type shit like that because it usually gets really complicated with like comboing the synergy between which characters. I usually fall off RPGs with like 8 characters when your party's like 3 or 4 because you have to figure who do I pair up with who, what attacks do I do after each other. Like I'm not very good with that kind of shit. I'm a fucking dum-dum. So
Yeah,
right now
I played it when it first came out for quite a while, really, but I don't know. It just feels like it's kind of like short on all notes. Like the world is like big, but not really that big.
Yeah.
Like the map layout is like not a direct path, but pretty much a direct path, and the combat's like you're fighting, but you're not really fighting all the time. And I don't know. It just everything about it just kind of like it felt a little too like I don't know. There were
Like
fights
it's
that
middling.
were tough, but they weren't like it was like tough because I just am not leveled up enough to do it. So you're not ever going to win. So that's that. Like everything else just felt I don't know. It was lacking something everywhere and nowhere. It was just a weird like thing.
Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of middling where it's not doing anything exceptionally great. So I'm just wondering, like, why would I put so much time into this?
It's actually pretty divisive within the Tales community, too, I noticed. When it first came out, people were, like, hype on it, and now it's, like, it's love or hate. It's very weird.
Yeah. When it first came out, people were like, Game of the Year, this and that. I think it's because of how it looks, because it's the best looking Tales game, and it does look very great. And the music's cool. You know, it's got an anime weeb theme song. And it's like it's cool. It's got anime tropes in it, and it's definitely super weeby. But I don't know. I think it's all right. I'm gonna keep trying to play it. Let's see. Played more Aliens Fireteam Elite, and I just did notice because I like started playing it in the morning and then in the evening because I'm trying to like play it and like I'm never gonna get full money's worth out of it because it's not that good. But it's active is what I noticed. Like there's always people playing it because it will pair you up with people if people are waiting in lobbies. And I will always get 1 or 2 people in my party. So that's pretty strange. I'm wondering where these people are and where this game is popular. I'm thinking it's going to be some weird shit. For some reason, like South America sometimes will like really hit with certain games and will be like obsessed with them. So I'm wondering if it's, I don't know why I'm thinking like, I wonder if like fucking these are all Brazilians or something, because there's always somebody playing it. And that's just kind of weird to catch that kind of activity on a game that is pretty much dead. And looking it up, I did see that on July 14th, they're putting out a Aliens Fireteam Elite Into the Hive edition. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's just going to bring the DLC, which they can really fucking go to hell for what they did with that. When like I bought the $90 version, thank you to all of our Twitch patrons because Twitch paid for that one. And it's really fucked up when they were like, there's going to be 4 DLC. They didn't say expansions, DLC add-ons. And the DLC add-ons are just like, it's just gear. So it's like, yeah, technically it's a class, right? But it's like, man, everybody can run around with a machine gun and shit. Like for the most part, everybody can use the same weapons. Yeah, maybe this class has 1 or 2 different abilities, but it's not like it makes or breaks the game or is so vastly different. It's like having like machine gunner, heavy gunner, whatever, and then like you drop a DLC pack and it's like medic. And that's an entire DLC pack. So they didn't really drop shit. They didn't drop any extra gameplay, any add-ons to the gameplay. And I just heard a weird sound. And I just think it's pretty whack.
I don't know what that was. That was a weird chime.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think that's kind of lame. I still think the game is all right, but whatever. So on that note, I did pick up the Division 2 and started playing it 2 days ago because I wanted something like that was a third-person shooty game. And the Division 2 is not the same because Aliens Fireteam is just, you're just going through a corridor stage and getting horde moded basically. But the Division 2 is pretty awesome. It plays really well. Pencil was super excited when I was playing it. And I think he has it. So he said he's going to download it and play it with me this weekend, maybe. Actually, no, I won't be around this weekend, but soon. But it's really cool. The Division 2 plays very well, but it's really boring because of what it is. Like the whole like American City rundown. So you're just fighting people you're just fighting mercenaries in the streets, and it's like the same problem with Aliens where it's fucking boring. You're doing the same shit over and over again, but at least this time it plays really well. So I am enjoying it, and also it's on sale for $5. So I think that's 100% worth it. What else? I also picked up Grid Legends because it's on sale. So I went ahead and bought that because I wanted to play a racing game. Visually, it's very good, but it's also kind of boring. It's boring because it's not like Need for Speed where you're doing all this crazy action, super drifty maniac racing, but it's like it doesn't do the arcade as good as Need for Speed, and it doesn't do the sim as good as Gran Turismo, but it's like in the middle. But I still find it entertaining and I still like it. And it's worth the $25. It's worth it. If you like racing games, it's worth it, but there's better racers out there. You want sim, go Resident Evil. Go Gran Turismo. You want arcade, go Need for Speed. Or if you want arcadey stuff, this is good too. So I do like Grid Legends. That's also good. I think the rest is just records. The rest is records, and then I have a new addition to Jesse hates how people pronounce things. So I did get some records. Your boy, I just bought one fucking 20 minutes ago. I was looking online, Radioactive Records, was just saying, hey, we got some new punk, hardcore and metal stuff dropping tomorrow. And I saw a motherfucking At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. That album, I used to listen to that fucking album in high school, and it is a really cool, like, it's a Gothenburg style of what they call melodic death metal. And it's really dope shit. I really enjoy At the Gates. They're a really great band. Slaughter of the Soul is a very kind of important album for that genre. They're a very important band for the genre as well. Like they're like as important or maybe more than like In Flames. That album came out in 1995 also, and it's just really cool. So I went ahead and messaged them and PayPal'd them, and I'm like, yo, hold it. I can't pick it up till I can either maybe get it tomorrow or I got to pick it up Monday. So Slaughter of the Soul by At the Gates, very cool stuff. Just pick that up. I also impulse pre-ordered. I don't know why. I saw this thing, Channel 3 Records was like, hey, we're pressing only 300 copies of Capcom's Breath of Fire, which is a cool Super Nintendo RPG with a great soundtrack.
Yeah, that's I have that game at cartridge in my fucking game cabinet.
Nice. But here's the deal. Never played it. Like, I think at my girlfriend's house, she has a Switch, and I put the Nintendo thing on there. And on the Virtual Console, it's on there. So I think I played like an hour of it and immediately got stuck in the dungeon. Like the second dungeon was just impossible. I was trying to just walk through the dungeon and win the fights with save states, and it was so difficult. But I impulse bought that. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just cancel it because I don't have any tie to it.
It's
Why do I
not
want
the
it?
best soundtrack, and it's not the best game. It was big for me when I was in middle school and high school. I played a lot of Breath of Fire 1 and 2, beat them both multiple times because me and my friend would just rent RPGs during the summer and just fucking play. We beat Mario RPG a million times, like Chrono
Nice.
Trigger a million times. We did it all, and so that was a big one for me. I remember playing it at barbecue my dad was having. We were like in a bedroom just playing fucking Super Nintendo that we brought from his house to my dad's house to keep playing. That's okay. What is that noise?
I have no idea. It can be coming from us because it's your what? It wouldn't have any sounds from my
I
computer.
don't even hear a noise. So
Weird.
Then I think it's
I
James.
also, I'm not gonna
It's
lie,
like a
I've heard that
poo-doo-doo.
noise before in the past on the podcast.
Yeah, it's some kind of notification, just so you know.
Weird.
It is.
So yeah, I've got Breath of Fire coming. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I think I'm just gonna put it in the pile of I might just raffle this shit off. Like I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna raffle off Sifu, because unless you want to try it, Aaron, because I'm not doing that to myself, man.
What, Sifu?
Yeah, I'm not doing that to
no,
myself.
I'm not
It's
interested at all.
just that game is like I don't care. I don't need to prove that to myself. It's cool, but give me life bars and lives and shit, and I don't want to have to beat. I want to really enjoy that game, but I don't want to have to do it in one run, and I'm not going to save scum it. There is a way to do it, but I don't want to do it. I also got a super important record to me. I ordered it a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. I just thought in my head, man, just try to find Traced in Air by Cynic. Cynic is a band. They have an album called Traced in Air. And it's one of my, I know I say this about fucking everything, but it's a very important record to me. Super important. I really love it. Discovered it when I was like 27, 28. And I used to listen to it a lot. It was in my mushroom period when I would take mushrooms and shit, and I would listen to it. Like, man, and it's just, and it's really like they're really on that level with like all that metaphysical fucking mind shit. And it's a really incredible album. It's very hard to come by. Original pressings are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But in 2019, they remixed the album, not like remix, but like remixed as in a producer took all of the audio files and like set the levels and like just actually mixed the audio again. And they actually re-recorded some of the bass and they repressed it in 2019, but they're still hard as fuck. Those represses are hard as fuck to find. They only made, I think, like 600 of those. And I go online and I see what I've told people before, man. When you're looking for records or a lot of things, check Target, check Walmart. I see that Walmart as a whole of a company has one copy of this record in like Ohio. And I'm like, and it's like, dude, it's like $27 or some shit, $24. And I'm like, bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. This record is not super expensive, but used copies of this 2019 repress of Traced in Air by Cynic are like 50, 60, 70 bucks. There's no way this Walmart has a copy for like $30. I just order it, and like 2 weeks goes by and nothing. It still just says order placed, and I realize, bro, they can't find it. They're looking for it, and lo and behold, after like 3 weeks, some numbskull finds it, and it gets to my house, and I have it. It's very neat. I'm very excited. I'm looking at it.
That's pretty cool.
So I was able to find Traced in Air by Cynic. It's a really important record. I think it's really great stuff. I always tell people, if you're interested in just hearing anything different, definitely go listen to the song called King of Those Who Know. It's a great song. They also did something really interesting a few years later, and they did something called Retraced, where they reimagined like 4 or 5 of the songs, and they kind of reworked them in a more mellow. They're a metal band, but it's not like rah. But they reworked the stuff in this thing called Retraced, and they have a really good version of King of Those Who Know, just called King, and that's really dope stuff. So definitely look that up. I did receive my King of Fighters book, my King of Fighters history book, but I'm not going to talk about it this week because I haven't read it yet. But it's enormous. It's 500-something pages. It's really awesome. You should definitely look it up if you're into fighting games or King of Fighters or SNK. It's not very expensive at all. It's about $50 shipped. I would recommend getting the special edition, which will be about $75 shipped. I fucked up and got the regular one, and I didn't get the special edition. And finally, Jesse hates how people pronounce things. Man, I listen to nothing but fucking podcasts, video game podcasts. And a lot of times I hear people just misinform and say bad shit. I mean, like I remember I was listening to one and they were talking about Elden Ring when it first came out, and somebody was talking about the graces that you rest at. You know, talking about where you save, where you rest at the grace. And they're like, oh yeah, what are those things you rest at again? And I just hear this one guy so smug, like he fucking, they're called runes, okay? Get it, all right? They're called runes, excuse me. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Nobody corrected him. He went the whole episode thinking he was smart. But I was listening to, I hate to do it to them. This happens to them a lot. Retronauts, man. Retronauts is a great podcast. Check them out. But man, I'm convinced that the guy does it on purpose. These are the type of guy who says anime instead of anime. I really love the anime. And it's like he really puts the AH. It's anime. And it's like, oof. But these motherfuckers are talking about... these are guys that say when they talk about Ryu. I was listening to a Street Fighter 3 episode. They're talking about Street Fighter 3, New Generation, Second Impact, Third Strike. And one guy even says, he goes, I know his name's Ryu, but I like saying Ryu because I'm American, whatever. And then they start talking about the Evo tournament, right? Evolution tournament, Evo. That's what it's called. It's called the Evo tournament because it's for the Evolution. And it's called Evolution. It's the World Fighting Game Tournament every year. This fucking guy, I'm like, what is he saying? He calls it Ava. For no reason.
Wait. How?
I think because he's a fucking asshole. He wants to be pretentious or some shit. And what sucks is these are dudes that are like a little older. They're like in their 40s. They were around when fighting games were like really big in the 90s and like doing the damn thing and like, oh yeah, I was there in the early Ava tournaments. And it's like, why are you calling it Ava? Because of fucking Neon Genesis Evangelion? Like, how do you get Ava from Evo that spawns from Evolution? And then another one, he does a Dragon Ball reference and he says the character gets super powered. It's like, yeah, man, well, why don't you just call it Super Saiyajin Goku?
Oh no.
He says
Saiyajin.
And it's like, hey man, they say Saiyan on the show. Like, why are you doing that? So that just bothered me. Fucking
don't talk to someone else's kids.
So that's it. That's it for my week. Boom.
That's so funny.
I also have tickets to go see a Metallica cover band tomorrow, and I'm not going to go. So
Yeah, that would be a hard pass for me. There
Why
seems to be a
not?
lot of like
I would
cover
go, but
bands that like they're like we're metal Ika, like or some dumb version of
oh,
those names, like
they usually do stuff like they'll call themselves like "For Whom's the Bell Tolls" or some shit. Like
Yeah.
cover bands will always take like like a 311 cover band will call themselves the Amber Energies. I don't fucking know. They'll say like I don't know. Limp Bizkit cover band will call themselves like the Nookies or some shit like that. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna go. Also, because like I don't, my girlfriend and I's schedules are fucking super opposite, so we don't really. So we're actually off at the same time. So I think I'm staying over there
Aw.
tomorrow, and I think we're gonna try. It's what sucks is the hurricane's rolling in, so the forecast right now says it's about to start raining tonight, and it's not gonna stop for a week.
It's a
So-
tropical storm, okay?
Yeah, the same shit. There's
I
a
know,
fucking
it's the same
storm
shit.
coming.
Hey, but we got shutters, though we're still waiting on our last piece, which is the slider. It's supposed to come in the 7th. It's been almost a
Nice.
year since we paid these guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put my fucking storm shutters up too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're hopefully if it doesn't rain, which is going to, we were gonna go to Murakami, which is like this Japanese garden park around here. I've still never been there.
Cool.
But we'll probably end up just being stuck inside and fucking watching fucking Stranger Things because she hasn't watched it because she's too scared to watch it alone. So I'm gonna have to fucking watch it again. Which I'll probably just read my King of Fighters book while we
Like
do that.
just season 4, or you're gonna have to watch all of it again?
No. We watched episodes 1, 2, and 3 the other day, so we'll need to watch 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be
I
able to.
thought you were gonna have to like start the whole series
Oh
again.
fuck no, I wouldn't do that.
I have
Um,
to say, ahead of our review, I really liked some of the added context we got in this season. It's kind of cool that they revisited
Finally.
like early stuff, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, me too. Jimmy.
So God of War's on there, but I'm pretty sure I just left that on there from last time because I assumed I'd be playing it. Let's see. So I finished or got caught up with Shield Hero, I believe. The way it ended, it seemed like it was kind of a weird spot for a season to end, and it seemed like season 2 is a lot shorter than season 1. So I'm a little unsure if there's more coming or if it's a weekly thing. Or
Wait, which show?
Shield Hero.
Shield Hero.
Oh, it's not done.
Okay. Well, I
It's-
saw something that season 3 was coming 2022, 2023, and I was like, well, maybe that was the end of the season then. And I don't know. It was confusing.
I haven't checked this week. I believe it's Wednesdays. But
Okay.
yeah,
So I might have a couple new ones then.
yeah. It's the last one I saw was the Weeaboo Time Mage with the book. They were in like the other world and stuff. Let's see. Shield Hero.
Weeaboo.
Shield. He's like because everybody in this is from another world. It's weird though.
Wait,
'Cause-
what is... I don't think I've seen that. I'm only up to like... They like are on the turtle's back.
Oh, bruh. Yeah, man.
And that was like the end of it.
Really?
But that's in dubbed. So...
Oh, yeah. They probably haven't dubbed them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 9 episodes. The newest one just came out.
Okay. I'll look. It might not be that the dub stuff or they started... Crunchyroll has got to get their shit together. The way they separate some of this stuff is so annoyingly bad.
Yeah.
It's like, and the way that like auto plays into the other, like you can be watching one season of a show and it'll start auto playing the dub or the like Spanish dub of the same season again after you get done with that one season instead of going to season 2.
Yeah,
And it just never works right.
it doesn't want to it doesn't always want to start with the language you picked last when seasons come out. I've noticed like it does
Right.
weird shit. Yeah, it's very weird.
And then like some of them are seasons, some arcs are seasons. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. But yeah, I thought I was caught up with Shield Hero, so never mind. Damn it. So I started Goblin Slayer for a third time.
So what do you mean start? So you started?
I started watching it again.
Yeah, he's
Like,
continuing.
continued. I watched the first episode and took a break. Watched 2 more episodes, took a break, and then started on episode 4, and I'm up to 9 or 10 now.
Oh,
so yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely got better. I definitely see why my buddy said he's like Batman, just because of how like he thinks out and plans all of his like stuff, and he's really like well thought of. Like he doesn't necessarily do everything, but he like thinks and plans it out, and like gets everybody to do the tasks they need to do to accomplish everything. So
I like that too. That they usually listen to him because they know he's fucking smart about shit. But yeah, that's the cool thing about him is he's not necessarily like he's a badass, but goblins themselves aren't necessarily the hardest enemies. They're just crazy, and they group up like wildly.
They also do the tropey, like every girl really wants to show him hit their titties.
Yes.
And he has 0 personality. So I guess that gives hope to us guys that like don't have any personality. But
yeah, he's the one where you're like,
but you need a sweet goblin slaying armor set.
No, but he's the one they've never even seen his fucking face most of the time, and they're all like, goblins today, or like show me your titties or show you my titties, and he's like, I don't care. Are they goblin titties? I don't care. And you're like, why would anyone? I mean, when he saved the one girl's life, you're like, okay, she looks up to him in that way, and like maybe there's something there because he saved her from like crazy shit, right? But like most of these people, he just meets like the priestess with the giant fucking triple G cup titties. Is
fuck yeah, dude.
She's like, hi, papi, I want to show you.
Doesn't she let him sleep? She sleeps naked with him, right?
That's what the episode I just got done is they woke up.
Yeah, dude.
Well, the healing power of a virgin, even though she's not one, she said, because of goblins.
Sure not.
But the other little girl that's normally in his party is, so I guess that's what healed him. Healing power.
Yeah, dude. She gets in the bed too.
Yeah.
I like that show. Yeah.
He's just, that's the first time he didn't have his mask on too, and I was kind of like, oh shit, we're gonna see his face, and then it's like, no, he still has long hair covering his face.
Yeah, I don't know that they ever really show his full face. I think we just always see it like shadowed by his hair.
I do have one question. If they answer it later, I can wait. Is what's with the dice shit?
What dice?
They show 20-sided die. I believe the idea is
I don't even think they're 20s. They're like D6s. There's 2 D6s.
You're right.
And like if a 1 comes up, he has a red eye.
It's the gods are playing a game. I believe they talk about it at some point.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because he'll be in battle, and like all of a sudden you'll get this one random little quick shot of dice being rolled, and then he's like all of a sudden super powered or not. He dies. Like this before that, when he got in the bed, they rolled the dice and it didn't have a 1, so he fell over, passed out, and almost died.
I know that there are some tabletop campaigns or tabletop rule sets where a D6 is the dice you roll for everything. I think it's like White Wolf is one of them. So there is a precedent for that. But yeah, I think it's that the gods are playing a game. They talk about it in some way.
Okay. Yeah. I figured it was something like that, or it was going to be something really stupid, and all of this was just some little kids playing a game called Goblin Slayer, and I was going to be like, this sucks. And that could still happen. So, but I saw season 2 of that's coming out here soon too, or 2020.
Oh, it is finally.
Yeah. Good. So, or that it was on the map layout thing of things coming out. So
yeah, it says there's a season 2 of Goblin Slayer, but it's just the dub or the original subs. It's weird. It says I'm on season 2, but it's not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh no, that's lame.
It's just how Crunchyroll labels things.
It's very annoying. Yeah.
It's super annoying. Every dub is a different season, more or less. It's so stupid. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. I love when the music kicks in with if he's getting ready to do something like badass.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that he's actually not super OP, really. Like he
he
takes
gets
one
fucked
hit,
up.
he's pretty well done
Yeah.
so far. And so like to me, I'm like, okay, so I mean almost I sometimes wish I expect him to dodge the hits and stuff a little more often than he does, I think. Because sometimes I'm just like, okay, you do so well, like fast moving your armor and your combat's great, and then all of a sudden you just like take this slow ass huge hit from a big guy, and I'm like, well, that's the one you should have been paying attention to, not the little shits. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he
He
does
does
get
some
fucked
things
up.
I don't get.
Yeah, he gets like knocked, like the one where they're in like the cave and they're in like the sewers or whatever, and then there's like that giant one. Yeah. That one fucks his ass up, but then he comes
I
out.
do like how it's just like a little bottle goes rolling away, and you're like, oh yeah, he's
Yep, he's about to go
he's
rage
juicing
mode.
up real quick.
Yeah.
So lastly, oh well, yeah, I guess personal stuff. I literally just had a fever like all last night. Don't know what it was from. Still really weird. Started getting dizzy at work, and then like got home and tried to walk the dogs but couldn't. And it doesn't help that it was over 90 and I had a fever, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And basically just passed out, was super weak, figured I had COVID again, took the home test, didn't have it, had a fever all night, and then basically slept like most of the day today and feeling better. So it was weird. I don't really know what I was fighting, but something. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's
nice.
great. But yeah, lastly, bro. So I bought a newer graphics card because I was like, why not? I got a 6700 XT, something like that.
That's the AMD card, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All my stuff's basically AMD anyway.
Yeah, it all works together, so.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm so over dealing with a PC now. Like, I have had nothing but issues with it since I put that card in there. And I've tried to like troubleshoot the card. I did a bunch of research before buying the card just to make sure it would be fine with everything I have, and it should have been. And it has been nothing but a pain in the ass, to the point to where I was basically have recovered my whole PC and have my old card back in there, and it still does not run great. At least now it doesn't like give me blue screen errors of death and will actually stay running. Like, so overly annoyed with, because I know what it is. It's the driver shit. Like, they put these driver updates for Windows 11 or Windows 10, 64-bit, 32, and for some cards but not other cards. And then you got to have the right combination of your BIOS being updated to this certain point, and then your graphics card driver and your CPU driver needs to be this, and your RAM drivers need to be at this, and Windows needs its updates and all this bullshit. And I just hate it. Like, I'm so annoyed at the amount of time I have spent. Like, I'm literally have to cross my fingers that one, I can even get Steam to open, because as of now, nothing will like open on my computer or like download properly, because I think Windows, where I recovered or did Windows, I'm pretty sure it has some type of antivirus that's literally just keeping me from downloading everything right now. And I basically have to hope that like my stuff is still on Steam. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to like replay like the stuff I've done in God of War, which isn't too far in, so that's not that bad. But I don't know, man. I'm just like really annoyed and like super burned out on the PC thing right now. Like, I did all the research. The card sucked. took it out. Luckily, I got it at Micro Center, and I'm pretty sure they have a 30-day, like, no questions asked return. So I'm going to try to return it. I put my old card back in. I just don't even know. Like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, I do the research. I do everything possible to make sure everything's running optimal, and I'm just like having this issue that I cannot fix. Like,
Yeah,
I want to just like factory reset my everything, like as if I just built it, but it just does not seem to want to let go of a few things that keep causing my PC to be like struggling with things, and I don't know what the things are.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. It really just gives me this, like, you would think by now they would like have this just like a little bit more optimized for like ease for people.
well, the problem is that PC's like an open market, so everybody can make parts and bits and bobs, and yeah, that's why Jesse plays on consoles, right? They're built with all the same parts always, so it works, like, and if it doesn't, you go return it and get another one. It's the same exact shit, like, and it's ready to go. PCs are a struggle. I've done that before where like I buy some shit and then it doesn't work, and then I'm like, I just want to throw my entire computer into the ocean. Like, I
really do.
Yeah, I get it. I've
I've spent so many hours getting it back to the point where it just doesn't like shut down or like black screen like just now, and I'm back to my old graphics card, which ran fine. Like, there isn't actually anything wrong with it, but I was just trying to upgrade now before, future stuff, and while I could. But
yeah,
damn, man, I was stuck at a point. I don't even know what to do with it. I don't really want to bring it in somewhere because, like, I just want to reset the whole thing. And I've already done, like, resetting the BIOS thing. That's easy peasy. It's whatever Windows is doing is the issue. Like, Windows is actually the problem, and it won't let me like solve the problem, because even when I try to just factory reset the thing I can't even get Windows to not be on there. Like, it won't even let me do that. Like, I want it like gone so I can reset completely and re-put my like Windows code in that, gives me my Windows stuff I paid for, and just start over and sign in with my actual Windows account I use on stuff. And it's just not letting me do anything. Oof. And I'm so burned out.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah, that's the kind of reason why I don't fuck with PC, because I'm just not. I wouldn't know what to do. I would give up and
I have my console. Like, it's just like I want to be able to play games with like Aaron on PC, and I've been enjoying God of War and the potential of the PlayStation stuff being available for me to at least take a stab at a few things I won't get to, even though it says 720p, which is kind of lame. Like,
yeah,
I just wanted that option there. And I guess my PC was fine before, and I should have just like not tried to make it better. But I don't know. I'm just beyond frustrated right now. And I don't buy lowball shit either. So that's what's annoying too. Is like everything in there is like good shit, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
maybe like compatibility or something like that.
I mean,
but then again, you do your research, so
yeah, I did a lot of research, and it's all AMD stuff. Like, everything in there.
Yeah,
you
used part picker, right, and made sure it all works together and everything. Yeah.
And I did more than that. I just like looked up like builds off of everything I use, and everything made it sound like this is like perfectly fine in there with my CPU and everything, like perfect. And no, it's not. And then I thought I was underpowered, but I have like a 750 watt PCU in there, or PSU, right? Power, so something like that. Power supply, yeah. And that's more than enough for like a 3090. So I don't even know.
Well, good luck.
I mean, like I said, I've got to a point where the PC's stable. It's just like when I download Steam, it won't let me like finish the download, or if I try to, like, I have the app on my computer and everything, but every time I try to open it, won't let it finish the updates on it. I really think Microsoft, there's like an underlying something like protecting or stopping me from doing anything. So
yeah, Windows is also trash.
Yeah, and I don't know what else to use.
Every time they update Windows, something is fucking dumb. I've noticed.
Well, I was going to try to attempt to just update to Windows 11 because I've heard it's actually been really good, like gaming wise too. Like it actually was very little or like a minor update, really, and overall, like it's had really good like reviews on it as far as like gaming wise. Because I don't really do anything beyond gaming on this PC. I usually do all my other shit on my other one. And so like I was like, well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like I keep this PC very bare bones. Like it's just for gaming. It's so annoying. I just don't even use it. I'll literally watch Twitch, everything on my other PC. I don't even use this unless I'm playing games on it. I don't have anything on here that should be causing issues. I don't get it.
Yeah, that is the one downside. Well, the major downside of owning a PC is
So all you listeners thinking about like, man, I should get a PC, don't do it.
It's a lot of money
Run
too.
away.
It really is a lot of money.
You want to know what you can do for $1,000 is get a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X, and you still couldn't build a PC that can do what both of those systems can do.
And a keyboard and mouse that you can use on the Xbox. I don't think you can do it on the PS5, which is so dumb. You might be able to, but I don't know if it's natively compatible with games. But like, you should be able to throw a keyboard and mouse on either of those and just play every game you want.
Right.
Like every FPS should have that availability. If they did, you'd be like set. There'd be no reason to have a PC. It's insane to me.
The only difference is you can plug the mouse and keyboard in on the Xbox, but you won't get the same settings still as you do in PC. The settings options are vastly bigger in PC games than like Apex alone has a way bigger scope of options in there.
Oh, wow. It doesn't. So you can use a wired USB mouse and keyboard for navigation in select games and apps, and with a keyboard getting around on Xbox, but they do not allow you to use it on most games.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Lame.
Yeah.
Well, it is a console. I mean,
I know, but like it's a fucking Microsoft console. It's like a computer company's console. Like fucking put.
I think they're gonna work towards it. I really don't. I don't see their next console really beyond like the next, like Pro or XX version or whatever they call this next one, Series X, Series X. 2 squared, 360.
What are they going to call them?
I don't know. Beyond that, I think they need to go into being just building like super user-friendly, efficient hard drives or not hard drives, but like basically a PC console for people to use. I mean, I think that's the next step.
Yeah, it's insane to me that mouse and keyboard has not been adopted. Sorry, I was reading the list of... There's some games that do, it looks like, and Warzone and like Black Ops, whatever, does. So.
It'll show that you're on mouse and keyboard. The icon does change, but you can still play on console and stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, if I really look at it, I don't see that there can be much more added or I guess I don't see much more they would need to add to make this more of a PC setup. I mean, if the system itself can run at the 60 frames or up to 120 and do 4K, like what else do they need to add to really get it like, I mean, it can be base. It doesn't need to be able to do like Word and everything, but I mean, you can Internet Explorer on your Xbox too and everything. So I don't know. Like, I guess to me, it seems weird that it's not like a more firm push for that, but
I don't know.
And then just let PlayStation be the console and Xbox be the PC. Like, be done with
it. Yeah. You would think they'd, I don't know. It seems like it could be a pretty easy sell.
Yeah. Well, easy sell, and just they can't really have to change all that much to get it integrated to where it would work fine. I can't imagine it would be that much of a change. I don't know. But yeah, PCs, I'm now an enemy of the PC world.
Okay.
You did it.
Is that it?
Yep. Just be warned that God of War stream may be on hold until I can get this locked in straight. I know it's very upsetting because people were enjoying it from what I could tell.
Yeah.
And I'm upset because I was enjoying the game. So I'm hoping to get this figured out sooner than later so I can get back to playing that game. But, you know, I'll try to keep people posted, and I'll try to figure something else out, maybe to stream in the meantime. But that's really why I haven't been streaming, is just because my PC hasn't been able to do it. So,
yeah,
I mean, my streaming PC is good to go, so I can still stream my Xbox shit. So, like I said, I'll try to actually still get something going. I just, I don't know. I kind of actually been super tempted to play Elden Ring again right now.
Same. But then I loaded.
Like, really wanting to.
I still only have that first playthrough. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, "Ooh, I want to play it," but I'm still gonna wait. I'm still gonna wait a little bit, but it's still tickling at me.
Yeah. It does, but then I play it and I'm like, oh, there's so much I hate in this game. Like, there's so much I don't want to do.
Yeah, well, it's the Souls thing where, like, I always think, like, man, I should start playing Dark Souls 3 and, like, I should do like a faith build, and then you start trying to play the game with some shit you haven't really used, that you're not like comforted by, and you realize how hard it is. Like, oh, I'm gonna go fight the dancer with the wiffle ball bat or some shit like that.
Right.
And yeah, man. But I look forward to it. I definitely look forward to playing it again when I do get back to it. And speaking of streaming, so I was thinking, like, you guys had told me, like, oh, I can stream from my computer without a capture card, and because I was thinking of like streaming some like super retro, I'm talking like Nintendo level games. So I'm thinking of figuring out how to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll bother you, Aaron, one day when you're got some time. I'll come and see if you can show me how to do that. Because I really want to play.
You're playing them on the PC, right?
On the computer, yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to play Mega Man Cross Street Fighter, which was like a fan-made game where a fan made a Mega Man game, but instead of like robot bosses, they're Street Fighter characters. So he like made levels based off of Street Fighter characters, and then you fight Ryu, and then when you beat him, you get the fireball, and you fight Chun-Li. When you beat her, you get the little kick. So I wanted to play that, even though I did kind of play it a couple years ago, and it was really, really hard. And I did find this thing called Fightcade, which is like a way to play fighting games online and stuff. But then I thought this. If you're on Twitch and you guys are on and you got your little screen and I see you guys are sharing your screen, are you allowed to go to YouTube and watch a video with your stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, you can get flagged for copyright because we are monetized channel.
Yeah, if you're there are React channels, like Hasanabi does that shit all the time. He watches fucking Ben Shapiro or whoever and makes fun of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get away with it.
Stuff. Because I was thinking of like, oh man, if I could set that up to where I could like have my laptop and I could bring up, I don't know, I could be like, oh, I'm gonna do we're gonna fucking check out some music tonight, watch some cool music videos or concert shit, like how we watched the Deftones stream that one time with Senya. Or I was thinking, there are so many really awesome anime OVAs and movies on YouTube. So I'm like, yo, we could do like a watch thing
Yeah, there
where I'm
was just
like,
a bunch of people got in trouble for watching anime on their
fuck.
Twitches.
But the thing is, though, I'm not trying to watch like fucking Shield Hero. I'm trying to watch like old shit from the '90s. Nobody gives a fuck about.
So-
But is it still gonna get flagged?
Yeah, it will probably still get flagged. If you're doing it for people who follow us already, we could definitely just put a channel in Discord where you share your screen on there and you could stream whatever you're watching and you could be in a chat,
Yeah,
share it.
there's a site for
have
that
that.
too. I think like a watch party, like app or site where you can all like. There's even one of those where like if all of you have Prime, you could like watch party Prime shit or Netflix together
Right.
or some shit like that. Because I was thinking that, but I mean,
Yeah,
let's
I
be
mean,
real.
a lot of them reaction channels will do things that won't necessarily I don't know, it's tricky. If you're monetizing it, you can get flagged or you get told that you're not going to be able to monetize this video because of blah
Yeah.
blah.
Or
And
you
it's
have to like
most of the time, whatever, that's fine. But Twitch is different. They will just like remove or flag everything and anything because they don't want to get in trouble
they don't
themselves
want the
first.
smoke.
Yeah, because they'll get the hit first. So
Okay, well, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ready to get into the shit?
Yes.
Alrighty. So first, we're gonna bang out some news, and then we're gonna get to the things. So a lot of news this week, but we're gonna go ahead and slam, jam, wham through it. First one I just noticed today was there's a motherfucking Arachnophobia remake. James Wan is producing an Arachnophobia remake. Christopher Landon is directing and writing it. You know who that is, Aaron?
Yeah, the guy that did Happy Death Day 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Both were great.
Death Day.
Happy Death Day is awesome. And then Happy Death Day 2U is like a sci-fi horror. It's like a sequel, but it plays with it's really good. They're both like one's like a Groundhog's Day horror movie where a girl keeps getting killed over and over every day and has to repeat the same day until she figures out who is killing her and why. And then Happy Death Day to You is like the continuation where that cycle starts to continue out to other people and they have to figure out what's going on. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So Arachnophobia remake, sure. I mean, I'm not so freaked out by spiders anymore. I mean, I also have not been coming in contact with many of them recently. But I don't really like spiders. That movie used to bother me, but I don't know. I'm not gonna like, oh my god. But spiders are pretty shitty. But yeah, so Arachnophobia remake, that's neat. Next we got some Capcom stuff. Capcom hints at reviving older franchises. So this is two-part news. Then there's a Capcom bummer article. So Capcom basically, they're about to drop their first new IP in like 10 years. I think Capcom's last new IP was fucking Dragon's Dogma. And they're about to drop Pragmata next year, whatever the fuck that is. But they did say that they are looking into bringing back some of their older IPs. So we do know that on that Nvidia leak, they are saying that there's going to be a remake of Power Stone. They did have the new installment of Ghost and Goblins they did last year or the year, I think it was last year. So it's kind of neat. Capcom's basically hinting at like, hey, we're going to revive some of our older games, but we're not going to tell you which ones they are. But it's like, what fucking games are they going to be? Like, can you give us a Dino Crisis with all the new dope shit? Like, if they gave us a Dino Crisis on the RE engine, like how they've been doing the Resident Evil remakes, that would be really amazing. Also, where's another Onimusha? Hello? Why have you made another Onimusha game?
No, why are there no
also-
more Breath of Fire games?
Exactly. Why did they just give up on Breath of Fire after the PS2? PS2 had really shitty Breath of Fire games on it.
No, it's funny.
And-
It didn't. It had one, and it's called Dragon
one.
Quarter, and
Dragon Quarter, yeah.
people fucking love it. It's
Oh, they
just
do?
not a Breath of Fire game. It's a procedural roguelite. It's like one of the first roguelike type of games, but it's a JRPG as well. I never played it, but so I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just know people are they love it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bummer then. I mean, because fuck, I forgot what game I was going to bring up. No, because Breath of Fire 4 on the PS1 is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really great game. It was on the.
It's
Hopefully that
beautiful,
comes back as a
too.
PlayStation Classic.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful. It's a little boring to start, but I got it on PSP and I put in about 30 hours and it started to really pick up, but then I lost that job where I could sit and play that at work.
Yeah. I got to like the water area where you fight an octopus and I think I died. I think that's where I stopped. But so they're saying, hey, we're gonna bring some shit back. So with the Capcom, so a few years ago, they put out this trailer for no fucking reason that just said Capcom, and then it just said Darkstalkers is not dead. So everybody is like, holy shit, they're gonna make another Darkstalkers game. Fast forward 7 fucking something years, there's no Darkstalkers game. So we're like, hey man, why'd you do that? Why did you? And nobody asked for them to do this. They literally stopped the tournament in the middle of a tournament and said, we have something to show you. And all it was Capcom and then red text, Darkstalkers is not dead. And that was it. And everybody was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're going to bring back Darkstalkers. Never. So this month on the 24th, I believe, they're releasing Capcom Fighting Game Collection or whatever, which is a whole bunch of Capcom fighting games, including Red Earth, which has never had a home port, which is very exciting. But this fucking collection of fighting games has like 5 Darkstalkers games on it, right? So we're like, oh, fucking awesome. Maybe they're going to give us another Darkstalkers game. These fools at Capcom were like, yeah, we did put like all those Darkstalkers games on that collection, but like it's probably not going to sell enough for us to do anything with it. So like, don't get your hopes up for like a Darkstalkers game because we're probably not going to be making one of those. And it's not one of those like, oh, let's divert their attention. They're basically telling us like, yeah, no, ignore that thing we said about Darkstalkers many years ago. It's highly unlikely we are not going to make another one. So unless for some fucking reason that collection sells 10 million copies and everybody is playing Darkstalkers on the online shit, there's no chance we're getting a Darkstalkers game. So that's super sad because Darkstalkers is a very cool idea. But then again, I mean, whatever. So that's that. Take-Two, the people who own Grand Theft Auto, they purchased Zynga. Who gives a shit? Those are the people that make Farmville and shit.
Yeah.
I think they bought them for $12 billion or something. So giant company with the biggest game in the world buys giant company with the biggest mobile games.
Speaking of, real quick, I'll just jump in and say Diablo Immortal came out yesterday on phones and today on PC. But I refuse to play it, so I've seen a bunch of people being like, it's actually great. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not, like, I've watched gameplay, I'm like, it's a fucking mobile game.
Yeah.
Great for a mobile game is still something I would wipe my entire asshole with. And it has predatory fucking microtransactions. It's got all the worst shit in it. So, I don't know. Dreamcast guy did a review saying like, no, it's shitty. It's a mobile game. Like it looks great and it can be fun, but it's like watered down Diablo, which he's like, it's watered down Diablo 3, which was already watered down Diablo. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. I don't know. It annoys me when people are like, in his comments, it was all just people being like, oh, I actually am having a great time. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Hope you spend all your fucking stupid money on it and you lose your fucking life because of it. Like, people giving money to phone games makes me angry, and you deserve to be poor. You deserve to be broke, and I hope I hope your wife leaves you. I hope your fucking kids don't respect you. You're a piece of shit.
Oh, there he is.
Giving money to these fucking games is why we keep getting them. It's what is ruining gaming, and that's what drives me insane. And if you spend thousands of dollars on a fucking game on your phone, fuck you, be homeless.
Also, Apex Legends has a mobile game out.
Yeah, you spend money on Apex Mobile, fuck you, be homeless.
Yeah. Um, so there is a new free update to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It adds an armory and some other cool shit. I mean, if you're playing Valhalla, go check it out. I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. I will eventually jump back on for the Ragnarok stuff, but
Is
not
that out yet?
yet. Is the update out? I think it
What
did come out.
Yeah, I was to say it might already be out.
Wait, what
No,
update?
Valhalla is out. I mean, not Valhalla. Ragnarok
Ragnarok's out.
has
Yeah.
been out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
this update, May
Oh,
23rd,
yeah.
So the Ragnarok update already came out. This is another update that adds a bunch. Oh, you didn't see it, James? Like hit the
Yeah, I've seen all the. Yeah, I've seen it.
the new shit with the armory. No, not the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they added an armory and they added some more shit. So Valhalla continues to grow. That's neat. Some PlayStation stuff. So people did see and the new PlayStation Plus thing is already out in Asia right now. And on one of the screens, it shows the redheaded chick from Dino Crisis. So that's pretty awesome. We know that they're for sure probably gonna bring the Dino Crisis games to there so we can play them, which is great. And I just hope that they're going. Hopefully, like, man, Dino Crisis was basically Resident Evil but with dinosaurs. So like, if that's one of the games they're going to bring back, and if they make a Dino Crisis fucking game with the Resident Evil RE engine, and I mean, remember that game they're fucking putting out? Is it them who's putting out that co-op game where you're fighting tons of dinosaurs? I think it is.
Oh, yeah. God, what
remember?
the fuck was that stupid game?
I don't know, Primal Fuck or something like that. I don't know. But basically, like, man, I wonder if they're getting, like, they're getting their little dino physics ready. Like, that would be, I think, a really huge game to bring back is Dino Crisis. So hopefully Dino Crisis is coming back. Some more PS Plus stuff. So the PS Plus, the classics on the PS Plus, new PS Plus thing, are performing terribly. Sucks to hear it, but I gotta announce it. So it's like the versions that they're putting on there. They're not all NTSC. Some of the PAL versions, so they're performing almost worse than natively on the console. So we're talking really shitty frame rate, and it's not looking good, at least for launch. I mean, hopefully they can do something to fix it along the line. But apparently, like, the really old PS1 games are like, they're playable and they have trophies. That's great. But apparently they're not running like the best. So that kind of blows because, at least Xbox did their backwards compat. They're pretty well. So it's kind of sad to see that that's not working out too well, at least for the original classics, which, I mean, that's really only there for us diehards, and that sucks because I'm going to be there I'm going to play some of those.
Well, I will say this is probably why they didn't want to do it for so long.
Yeah.
People were like, "Why aren't these backwards compatible? I won't play all my games." And then they did it, and everyone's like, "Wait, this actually sucks." And they're like, "Yeah, you idiot."
Yeah. That's why we didn't do it, because they don't work right. Yeah. The PS Plus games for June have been released. Just for the regular tier. God of War, which a lot of people are like, why would they give us that? Well, because not everybody has a PS5 and has that PS5 collection essentials. Also, not everybody played God of War. Also, Ragnarok's going to come out. So I think they want to have another shot for everybody who doesn't have the game to get it. So God of War is on the PS Plus this month, as well as Naruto 2 Boruto Shinobi Strikers, which is a four. It's like a 4-player co-op fighting game. I think it's like you fight as like 4v4 type shit. It's the only Naruto game I don't have, so I guess I will try it out.
Have you ever watched Naruto?
No, I've like seen it in passing, but I just won't bother because it's just so long. I know it's great. Like I'm talking 15 years ago. 15 years ago, like I had a friend, a very smart friend of mine, who's telling me, "No, you don't understand how hard this shit goes." Naruto is next level shit. And that's like 15 years ago. He was like telling me something about they were fighting and then he turned to a block of wood and then it was just I get it. It's just I think the fact that I'll never get that Rock Lee moment that I hear about, I'll never really experience it the way y'all did.
No.
Then why bother, you know? Why bother? I know he's wearing weighted shit.
Yep.
And then the last game is Nickelodeon.
Even if you know it though, it can still be hype.
Yeah, that's true. Like I'm planning on doing the Last of Us games soon. So like, and I know what happens for the most part. But yeah, then the last PS Plus game is Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Who can suck a dick because they fucked up?
No care ever.
Multiversus is gonna come out and take what they thought they were gonna do. How the fuck are you gonna release a Nickelodeon Smash Bros. Clone with all of these fucking characters, like all the Nickelodeon characters and Ninja Turtles, and there's 0 voice actors in the game? The game is you play in silence, dude. You're playing as like Ren and Stimpy versus Neil Leonardo versus Cat Dog versus whoever the fuck else. And the whole game is in silence. There is not one voice.
They didn't bring
acted.
any voice. That's so crazy.
Yeah, dude. That's the whole point of like having the cartoons. Like, dude, in Multiverses, they got Kevin Conroy playing Batman. They got Maisie Williams playing herself.
Playing
Is that
Arya.
her name? Williams?
Yeah.
They got her to reprise to play herself in the fucking game. Like Multiverses has everybody who acts. I mean, it's a budget thing, but you're Nickelodeon. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like that's why the game failed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not even gonna download that.
I mean, I just don't know why people are going after the Smash style. Like, I don't think other ones. You know, I don't know.
Brawlhalla makes a lot of money.
Does it?
Brawlhalla makes a lot of money, and then also Smash is like done, and they want that. Like I'm pretty sure Multiversus is going to be pretty huge because it's also cross-platform.
Well, and if it's free and cross-platform, I mean,
yeah, it's cross-platform and it's free. And we saw that list of the top 10 games played. Most all of them are cross-plat and free and multiplayer centric. There's no single player games on that shit except for Animal Crossing, and that's also kind of multiplayer. Even though Multiversus is not going to be on the Switch, at least not for now. I'm trying to just get these PlayStation joints out of the way. PlayStation TV shows, pretty neat. They've announced that God of War, Horizon, and Gran Turismo are all going to get fucking TV shows. So that's kind of cool. I think Horizon definitely should be animated. God of War, I don't know, man. I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Yeah, I don't. They're going to have to neuter it. You know, they're going to have to like make it less brutal and bloody and sexual and all the things that people liked those games for. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that they can make it pretty fucking brutal, depending on who gets it. And Gran Turismo, I don't know, man. I think if they do like some Top Gear shit and they make a show like that about cars and call it Gran Turismo and they bring that like Sony quality level of production and like the sexiness of the cars, because I'm not really a car person, but like when you play a Gran Turismo game and you see like how they really show their passion for like how beautiful cars are and shit, it's pretty awesome. So I think that would be kind of neat if they can, you know, it's kind of weird Gran Turismo as a TV show or a movie, but we'll see what that actually means. Other movie stuff also, by the way, is that Will Arnett has been cast as the voice of Sweet Tooth in Twisted Metal. So we got Will Arnett, Nev Campbell. The Scream chick is going to be in there, and Anthony Mackie. So that's good. We got a trailer for SD Super Deformed Gundam Battle Alliance. Just wanted to throw it out there. It's a super bummer. It looks like a really awesome Gundam game, but we have to play as a Super Deformed Chibi Gundam. Disappointing. Why'd you do that? The only other Gundam we're getting is a damn hero shooter free-to-play online game, which will be out soon. No thanks, but I'm going to try it. One that Aaron did see, we got some Sonic Frontier gameplay. cool.
Yeah, I
but
mean, I looked at all the articles, but I watched the SD Gundam battle. I don't care. Super Deformed Gundam doesn't. I mean, I'm not a Gundam fan, anyways. And then looking at some chibi Gundam shit, I'm like, meh.
yeah, no, same. I really like Gundam, but like it's just dumb. Just don't make them those models. Just use the cool Gundam
Yeah.
models, and the game would be great. But I think sometimes it's like, oh, it's cheaper and easier to make them the chibi.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure, and it's they don't have to go into super detail, But I did
yeah,
watch the Sonic fucking
Frontier.
trailer, and it's beautiful. Like the world is really nice looking. I mean, Sonic looks like fucking dumbass Sonic, but the world's beautiful. And then he's running around, and you're like, man, that looks kind of fun. And then it's like, cool, boss battle time, and I was like, oh, I don't care anymore. Because like Sonic
Yeah.
doesn't use weapons; he just spins around and jumps and shit. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks dumb. And I even saw like there's one where he's spinning on like a hamster wheel,
Yeah.
and then you see like the pulse of energy. It's like, oh, that's just a Ubisoft tower, or
Yes,
like that's like
yep.
it's just a
Yeah.
tall neck from Horizon. Like, so fuck off with that. God of War Ragnarok has been rated, and in like fucking Korea or something, which means the game's been rated, which means that shit is done. And there is a date that has been set for it somewhere, and that date is September 30th, which is like the nebulous date they use for third quarter releases.
Yeah.
So it is a Friday, but it is kind of like it's kind of a placeholder date. It could be that date, but I think what it was like toys or some shit got, I don't know. So yeah, it's a possibility. If anything, basically we are going to get it this year, so that's pretty awesome. Fucking Willow. Did you guys see the Willow trailer?
Yeah.
Yep.
I did. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
You know what I think? I think I do not care. And I liked
don't
Willow,
care,
but
it
I'm
looks
like,
pretty cool.
no, dude. You know what
It made
is?
me want to watch the movie again.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Mad Mardigan can't come back because fucking what's his name is like has a bunch of medical issues, and like I'm done. I'm done with Disney Plus and like them being like member berries about everything. Obi-Wan.
Oh, it's Disney?
Yeah, of course, because they
Oh,
bought
it's on
Lucasfilms, and that's
Oh,
a
you're right.
Lucasfilm.
Yeah. I forgot.
Obi-Wan has showed me I don't member and I don't care. Like, and Willow, like, I don't know. I just don't see why we needed it. That is all I keep thinking about watching Obi-Wan is why we didn't need this. It's cheapening the fucking episode 4 reveal, of like the battle of, I mean, it's a shitty sword fight, right? But it's two old guys fighting. But like, it cheapens that. It's like, hello, old friend, or whatever. And then it's like, oh, but I saw you like a little bit ago. But like, hey, it's crazy that we're seeing each other.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of Star Wars,
yeah.
Did you guys see the Jedi Survivor, Star Wars, basically Star Wars Dark Souls Part 2 trailer?
Yeah.
It's just a cinematic, so whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine. I will play it.
This game is where they started having like the third sister, fifth brother shit, right? Like that's where
that's where they started.
I thought it was Clone Wars and stuff.
Oh, because I didn't watch any of those. Maybe it was, but
that's where the Inquisitors were started.
Okay, so yeah, that's where they started these like Vader clan.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm sick
whatever.
of?
I mean, I like the Nosferatu guy. Looks cool, I guess.
I'm sick of Darth Vader. I'm so sick of Darth fucking Vader. Wow, he is Nosferatu. I watched it on my phone, so I wasn't really paying attention. I'm watching it now. He's got the fucking Nosferatu teeth. It's so dumb.
Yeah, that's a straight up Nosferatu.
Can we just stop Star Wars? Can we just be done? Like, the reason Knights of the Old Republic was so cool is because it didn't have anything to do with Skywalkers and whatever. This is like, and then Darth Vader. And you're like, who cares? Darth Vader was nobody. Ugh, it's so annoying.
So I hope that, I mean, I'll play it because the other one was good. So
you seem to enjoy it, but by the end you were just ready to be done. I remember that stream where you were on the last boss and you're like, I'm about to turn this to easy.
Yeah, because the fight was a cool fight, but it was like a long fight, and then she pulls a trick at the end, and it's like, oh fuck, it's a really hard fight, and I died with like one hit on her to go, and I was like, nah, dog, putting this shit's easy.
I mean, I did that
Um,
with fucking Elden Ring. I tried Radagon and Elden Beast like 12 times by myself, and then I was like, easy mode, I'm summoning people. I'm just gonna keep summoning people until I get it. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Um, Capcom put up a Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary website. So I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, dude, they're gonna do it. Go to the website,
It's
and
nothing.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just that it's been 10 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's a timeline, and it's like 2013.
Bro, they're
we made
celebrating the
game.
fucking animated series, which was trash.
It's so bad. I've tried to watch it. It's
Dude,
so bad.
I tried because I loved Dragon's Dogma. I loved it. Like, I fucking loved that game. And then it's like, it's so bad. And I want to go back and play it again. I always want to, but it's a struggle because I will always play an archer, and like every time I try to be something else, I'm like, but archer's so good.
That's so weird because I never fucked with the archer too much. I
Dude,
don't like
the
it.
ranger with a longbow, you can fucking snipe everybody, and it's so good.
Nice.
But
I might play it again.
Yeah, I'd like to go back. That'd be something to stream. Actually, that'd be fun to stream.
Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah.
They just did a They just did some game. Just got like a fucking definitive edition that I was thinking I should stream or should play. What fucking game was it? It's one of these, like, you know, an RPG that I loved that just got fucking yeah, fuck.
I don't know. Try to find it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
We also got a trailer. I guess you put this in there, James. Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader.
Oh, that was me.
You. Yeah, I watched it. It looks like a cool to see RPG.
Yes, so it is by Owlcat Games. I put it in because I saw it, and when I saw their name, I was stoked because they did the Pathfinder games, Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, or something. Wrath of the Righteous, and they're both great fucking RPGs. They're super deep, so I am very interested because I've never really gotten into 40K. So I'm very interested to see kind of what comes of this because I know Owlcat can make good games and Warhammer Universe is awesome lore-wise. So, but real quick,
there's been a couple of games I've wanted to play. Like Space Marine was a third-person action game that was pretty neat, and they have a first-person shooter out right now that I've wanted to try. I think it's called like Hired Gun or something like that. I've been thinking of it, but I'm not going to spend $40 on something that I don't know about.
Nah. Real quick though, just to finish Dragon's Dogma, the website, I was like stoked for you too, like for a second to be like, maybe we're going to get our Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement or whatever. But then it said, starting May 2022, Dragon's Dogma is celebrating its 10th anniversary. I'm like, oh, it's June. They're not doing anything. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And it just goes through,
man.
It's just got a timeline and stuff. I mean, you know, Dragon's Dogma is great. If you've never played it and you
It's
like
awesome.
action RPGs, the story doesn't really pick up till late. Like it's a pretty cool fucking story. It's just hard to understand at first. But
I still like it though. I like creeping around the garden at night with the princess and shit. And then also, like, spoiler no spoiler, at the end game when you beat it, like a huge hole opens in the ground and there's like a whole fuck ton of like crazy boss monsters to fight.
Yeah.
Like there's just a whole giant like kind of tower basically of every floor has like these different boss rooms. So it's pretty awesome. Tekken 7 has sold 9 million copies on its 5th anniversary. So Tekken 7 is 9 million sold. I believe the Tekken series as a whole is somewhere like 35 million. I will continue to say it. We're going to get a Tekken announcement soon, but a Tekken 8 announcement soon, but I will continue to tell people, go buy Tekken 7. It's constantly on sale. You can constantly find versions with like all the DLCs and shit on sale for like $20. I think everybody should own a copy of Tekken 7, even if you don't like fighting games. It's just I think it is a perfect I think it's a perfect video game.
Sorry. It's just you're literally like the person who buys all these games and never plays them. And you're like,
Well, the reason why I don't play Tekken 7 is because I platinumed it. I played the shit out of that. I got every fucking.
No, I
treats
know.
thing.
It's just more the point. Like you usually tell everybody to buy stuff, and I'm just like, man, if we all bought games like you buy games,
Yeah, you'd be
Yeah.
like me. You'd be broke.
Wait, real quick before we go on, I just saw this and it's too funny not to mention. Did you see they're bringing Morbius back to like 1,000 theaters because of the fucking memes?
Nice.
I hope 0 people go see it and they waste money doing this. Like I hope
it's on digital now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Where?
there's a link where the whole movie's just online. It's like somebody just has the movie in like a open Discord server.
Jesus.
I believe it.
Yeah,
why not?
It's horrible. Don't ever.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I saw Filmento, which is a very good YouTube channel who breaks down movies. You ever watch their shit, Aaron?
No.
Filmento's a pretty good one. He kind of breaks down why the movie's bad, and he kind of like it does that thing where movies like go like, okay, now the main character has to convince the girl to join his side, and he just like, so will you join my side? And she goes, yeah. Okay. Oh, well, now he's going to go into the cave to get the bats, and you see him in front of the cave, and the next shot is just him in his lab with the bats. Like, it's like
So
they set everything up and they just skip like actually doing shit, and they just get to the payoff every time. Like, okay, well, now he's going to have to find the ruby quartz, and it just goes to the next scene, and like, so I found the ruby quartz. Like, this
so
just
it's basically like having an infinity gauntlet and being like, we need to find these 6 stones, and then you're like, okay, so we got all 6 stones now.
That's pretty much what it is, dog. Like the movie, like he never has to do anything. It's like they brought up one point where like, so in the beginning of the movie they're like on a boat, and like he's on the boat, right? And then like there's a bunch of like guards and shit on the boat. And then like he starts to morb out, and he starts to morb out, and he starts to like kill all the guards. But like he hired all the guards to like stop him when he starts to morb out. So it's like, hey man,
yeah,
why did you hire me?
They have him kill them, and it's supposed to be okay because they're assholes to the girl for a second. But I'm like, but buddy, you hired them. That's your friend's bodyguards. Like your very rich friend bought you this boat to do this, and then you repay him by killing everyone. And then the whole crux of the plot of why the bad guy's bad is Morbius won't give him the vampire gene or blood, so that because he doesn't want him to have to kill people to live, and he's trying to figure out how to cure it or whatever. And it's like, but he's gonna die. Why don't you just give him the vampire shit, and then you guys like you can drink the fake blood you got, or you can pay billions of dollars to get blood from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't. The guy's a fucking billionaire. You could just pay people like create a blood bank and then take like 10% of your blood bank blood and drink that. You know, I just it's so weird.
Yeah, let's not waste time on Morbius. Last 2, because we still got some stuff to go through. The last 2 are just some Final Fantasy things. Final Fantasy IX will be getting an animated show for children. That's neat. That just more reinforces we're going to get a Final Fantasy IX remake. I don't think they're going to do the reimagining shit they did with 7, because I think that takes too much time and resources. I'm thinking they're just going to rebuild the game and give us what they did before, turn-based. I'm really hoping so. I don't want
like
did
they announce it like Final Fantasy VII remake, or did they announce it as like a remaster type thing?
So in the NVIDIA leak, which is everything on that has been fucking true, there's Final Fantasy IX remake. And now Square has officially announced, we're making an animated series for Final Fantasy IX. And it's like, okay, so you're putting money into making an animated series for Final Fantasy IX, but you won't tell us that you're remaking the game. Of course they're going to remake the game, because they don't want to sell the game along the thing. So I'm thinking, fucking awesome, because Final Fantasy IX is supposed to be really cool. It goes back to true fantasy stuff. Great. Yeah, it's just turn-based. I'm hoping
the reason I asked is because I want to play it again, and that'd be fun to play if they did a remaster. But if they're doing a remake and it turns out to be like some different shit like 7 was, then I don't know.
So I don't think they're going to do that, because I think that would take way too much research and development, and like way too much like to reimagine. This whole 7 thing is going to take another 15 years. So I'm hoping it's just a remaster, but like rebuild. But I think like call it remake since you're gonna rebuild the whole fucking game.
I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever get the full Final Fantasy VII remake.
Nah, we won't. There's no
I
way.
do. I think that we'll get the finale on like PlayStation 6. I think it'll be next gen. I think we'll get the 7 Part 2 in like 2025.
Were they just gonna
20...
pull a Morbius and just skip right to the end?
No,
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna get Part 2. I think we will get Part 2, but I don't think we're gonna get that shit till 2025.
Dude, I don't even think we've.
2026.
How much of the game did we get so far? What is Midgard?
We only got up to Midgar.
But I mean, how much of the game is that? It's like 10%.
0, the interlude.
It's like
It's literally the
half of disc
introduction
one.
to the game.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but
think
if you
about
break the story up, it's Act 1.
It's not though.
It's not really. It's
That's
the
true.
intro
There's
to the
so
game.
much. There's so much more to the game.
It's never
I
gonna
don't-
happen. It's never gonna happen. There's no way. And what we get is gonna be so bloated that it's gonna take so long. They already added. Why add to a 4-disc game or a 3-disc game? You know what I mean? Like, game was like
Yeah.
100 hours. Why add more story to it? Why
No.
did we need Kingdom Hearts shit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. And then the last one is it's somebody found in a recent Star Wars book. Blitzball from Final Fantasy X is now canon in Star Wars. So like apparently like in this book, a character is talking, like it's called Star Wars Brotherhood, and a character is like talking about Blitzball. He
Yeah,
makes a
being
reference
played
to
in a
Blitzball.
lake. And the fucking writer's like, yeah, I love Blitzball. I played a bunch of it. It's like, but you don't get to just steal it.
Yeah.
to do that.
Like you don't get like just because they made that just goes to show that Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna have a Star Wars world for sure. But fuck Blitzball.
Ooh, a
And that's the
lightsaber
news.
Keyblade then too.
Wasn't there a Star Wars world in fucking Kingdom Hearts 3?
I didn't play it.
Yeah, I think
I
there
didn't play
was.
that.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Maybe I'm not sure, but while Aaron checks that out, we're done with the news, and we're gonna go ahead and just talk about what we just saw on the Sony State of Play.
Oh, no,
for
we
June
did not, by the way.
2022.
We did not get a Star Wars world because it was already determined and being worked on before the acquisition was announced. So they probably didn't, they didn't have
Oh.
time to put it in.
Sick.
You want to talk
Uh,
the shows before we do State of Play?
Yeah, let's talk the shows first.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because.
Yeah, I just figured because we're probably gonna spoil the.
Well, State of
Stranger
Play
Things.
is we're video games, so yeah,
Yeah.
that should be
Okay.
priority.
Yeah.
Y'all can
Let-
do Obi-Wan first.
Yeah, let's do Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Oh, so I'll say, so we'll do Obi-Wan. I will say, I found it, and I'm not making a joke, but it's kind of funny. It starts off scene 1, shot 1, with a fucking school shooting.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off with a classroom of elementary children, and a stormtrooper comes in with a fucking assault rifle and shoots at children. And I thought, like, man, Stranger Things last minute put a
Trigger warning.
disclaimer,
Yeah.
a disclaimer saying, "Hey, due to whatever recent events, blah blah blah, trigger warning." And I pretty much figure it's because she freaks out and like you see like shots of like children hurt, and it was pretty gruesome, like seeing a bunch of like kids like in Stranger Things all dead on the floor. But like, hey man, I noticed that immediately, and I wonder if like, am I the only person who noticed the very beginning is a dude runs into a room of children and starts shooting them. But he didn't hit any of them. But yeah, I just thought that was a little strange. That was
Well,
like they could've-
stormtroopers aren't known for being accurate.
Yeah, they never fucking hit.
But yet they can take out Jedi, oddly enough.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. It's so dumb that Order 66 was like the thing, and it's like clone and stormtroopers that do it. It's like, but we've watched them literally just spin their lightsabers around, and they're fucking invincible. And we've
Right.
seen Kylo Ren stop a blaster bullet or blaster blast.
Well,
Yeah.
he's stronger than other ones.
Is he though? Because he didn't really do much. He's a piece of shit. Yeah, let's talk Obi-Wan. Yeah, boy, it's If you're a fan of Obi-Wan, get ready to be annoyed of me and Jesse.
I mean, I don't know.
So this is only episodes 1,
Yeah.
2 for Jesse, and then 1 through 3 for James and I. Let's go ahead
Yeah,
and
I quit that too.
we'll toss a rating out just so we can rate it so far. And then that way, if you want to skip spoilers, Jesse, you go first.
We're gonna be so far.
I mean, out of 10, out of a 10, I'll say like a 5.5, 6.
Okay.
Just because it's not like terrible, I just find it like I just think it's like boring and like unnecessary and kind of stupid. So no, I'll say a 5.
Yeah. James, why don't you go next?
No, you go.
I have watched episode 3, which was better than 1 and 2, but I'm with Jesse. It's like a 5 for me. I really don't understand why they made this. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. It all I can say is George Lucas is fucking doing cartwheels at his house. If his old brittle bones gonna, because everything that they do in Star Wars makes him look better. It's frustrating. You're up, James.
James.
I'm at like an 8 right now, I think.
Well, he likes it, dude. What do you expect?
Oh no!
It's funny. That's
have
why I started laughing as soon as you were like, let's rate it, and I was like, oh god.
I have not seen a budgeted production have worse acting in a while. I'm not like there's multiple characters like Flea from the Chili Peppers was trash.
Oh god,
Reva,
terrible.
Reva was trash, and I know people are hating on her, and there's all this like racist the black girl that's like the bad guy.
So I liked her more in episode 3.
Yes,
but I thought her character in episode 1 and 2 was super tropey, and I didn't really care for her. But I don't know. It didn't take away from the show because I focused on Obi-Wan more than anything. So.
But this is like, it's so weird. It doesn't make sense to me. Like Obi-Wan's whole thing is like, I'm gonna hide and I'm gonna watch over the boy, right? I know that Leia is somewhere being taken care of. I'm gonna watch him because he's more than likely gonna be Force sensitive, and I gotta make sure he doesn't get, taken or whatever his mission was in fucking Tatooine. What the fuck are we doing? Why is he like feeding cows and just being a hermit, and then immediately someone's like, "Hey, I know you're Obi-Wan Kenobi. I need your help," and then it's like Leia's stupid ass with one of the worst child actors I've ever seen. And it's a combination of a bad child actor and horrific writing. I'm so sick and tired of child characters being written by 50-year-old people to sound like a 50-year-old. Have you never spoken
I did notice
to
that.
a 5-year-old or whatever dumbass age she's supposed to be? They're not sitting in a tree going like, a Cartesian cruiser.
I guess so. For me, I would agree with you in most cases if it wasn't like. So I guess there's reasons that I like am accepting of it. One, it's Leia. And she was always kind of like, she kind of had that attitude to her anyway. You know what I mean? Like confident, independent.
Have you never
She's also living with a like rich family which means she's probably like super overly well educated, and they're like a governing body, and she's probably very like well versed in different things because of being with a counselor as her dad. And then like, I don't know, like I think it's very obvious they're pointing out that she has a sense of the Force but doesn't know she's using it when she's like kind of mind reading people a little bit.
It's not even, I don't know. For me, it's just
the only thing I think with her that shit is all the scenes of her running. Like that's so bad when she's running. You gotta stop.
It's
running
real
is pretty bad.
It's annoying because they just make her like, I'm not like other kids. I'm a cool kid. I do cool kid stuff. Like I got my robot and I'm real smart. Like fuck you. You're 6, dude. You don't talk like that. They don't fucking like my niece is 6 years old and she's sassy and funny and whatever, but she's a 6-year-old. She's not like
I thought she was 10.
Leia? I mean, even 10 years.
Doesn't this take place 10 years after
I
That
don't
is
know.
not a 10-year-old.
That is not
bro.
a fucking 10-year-old. That's like
That is a 6 or 7.
I know that, but that's what I thought it said.
yeah, I mean maybe, but I don't know. I just people were like hyping her, and maybe that's what like I was like, oh, it'll be fun to see like young Leia, and then she's like talking. I'm like, oh, I wish a fucking cruiser would hit you and kill you on screen. Like and just it just doesn't make sense. Like Obi-Wan's a fucking idiot, and he sucks at everything in this so far. Like he's just I don't know. They know who he is. So why isn't he using the fucking Force? Like.
I think if you spend 10 years training yourself to not instinctually use it anymore, and then all of a sudden have to be forced yourself to use it, it's not going to just like start happening and be as like perfect as it was before.
I don't know if that's true or not because I don't know that like have they said it? You know what I mean? And this isn't. I'm not contradicting you. I just mean. Like, do we know that that's a thing, or are you just psychic and then you just can always have psychic powers?
I mean, I thought they kind of implied that with everything in the first 2 episodes.
But then he goes back and is a fucking Jedi in hiding forever, and then when we see him in episode 4, he's able to use the Force stuff.
And maybe he actually started using it again because I don't know if the Inquisitor thing kept going after that point or not. I don't know how it all plays out.
I don't know. And then we get Vader in episode 3, and I'm like, why? Why? Because
I was shocked at how much Vader we got.
And it's
I was
so
shocked.
Oh,
dumb.
Vader's in 3? Nice.
A
It's
lot.
so dumb. It's like he's like no, like they interact, and I'm like, this is literally stripping the specialness from episode 4. It makes me so angry because episode 4 is so good, and then everything they do.
I didn't
I
expect this to what happened in this to be like a thing. I thought maybe they would interact in the series at some point, and maybe at the end, but I didn't actually like ever think they would actually clash sabers.
Yeah, I was hopeful. I was hopeful they might sense each other here and there, right? Like, and he would know that Anakin is alive because he obviously does know that Anakin is Vader by the time Luke becomes his apprentice or whatever. Whatever they interact later in life. That's fine, and I liked that moment, like being like, "Holy shit, he's alive," right? And then I would like it to be that Vader knows he's hunting a Jedi of some sort, right? And Obi-Wan knows Vader's after him, but then they never have to interact. And definitely never sword fight. And then all we see is Obi-Wan just terrified. And I'm like, what are we doing?
I don't know, man. I get why he's like that, though. He's super torn with Anakin. Like, his master told him to train him, and he was like brothers with him forever. And he like turned dark on his watch, and like then he had to fight him and chopped him to pieces and thought he killed him. Like, I mean, it's like seeing a ghost come back from the dead that you were supposed to kind of kill, but you were also was a brother that you were training, and like, I don't know. I get that.
Maybe if I watched all the Clone Wars shit, I'd care. But those first 3 prequel movies are so bad, like they don't build any of that. It's all tell, not show in those movies. Like, we go from Anakin is like a 6-year-old, and then he's like 18 or what, 17 or whatever, and he's just like a asshole, and they're like kind of shitty to each other. But then we get to episode 3, and they're like, remember all those cool times we had when they're in a fucking elevator? And that's all we get to be like, we're friends. Haha, we had a great time. And so then by the end, I'm like, I don't care. Why does he care? He's just like a spoiled dickhead who's clearly... The thing is, he's so clearly evil the whole time. Like, he's so clearly gonna be a bad guy.
Anakin?
Yes. It's like,
he is. He's definitely like always slips
black
up
leather shit.
saying stuff.
it's just so bad. It's like he's always being like, I hate it. I hate being a Jedi. You guys are assholes. I want to fucking fuck, and I want to like go crazy. And everyone's like, man, that guy, he's this little spitfire. And it's like, yeah, no, he's going to the dark side.
For sure.
I think Obi-Wan always saw it too, but was like trying to ignore it and trying to be like,
trying to
hopeful
trying to
that
be
it
good
wouldn't go that way.
Like trying to make good on his word to his drunk idiot fucking like master from back. Qui-Gon Jinn's a fucking idiot, and he sucked at everything too. Like all these movies and extended universe shows have done is strip away like the mysticism and the magic from Star Wars for me. I think because the further along you get, the more dumb shit they put in, and you're like, oh, like midichlorians.
If I knew that the whole series was, I'm hoping it's not going to still all be about him just literally getting Leia back. If I would have known that that was the plan for the series the whole time, I really wish they wouldn't have done it. And we'll see. Like my rating probably will go down if that's the case, because I just like, we're halfway through. I've enjoyed what I've seen except for the running scenes. And I just love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan and would love to see like the Mandalorian type treatment of the character, which is kind of what we got in the first 2 episodes, I thought. But I don't know, like if it, in the end it is like the whole series was just this one little mission and that's literally the only mission he's had or something over the years, then yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bust and kind of pointless and there was no reason for it. I have a feeling all of this is just going to lead to like him leveling up in the Force and being able to like see Qui-Gon and be able to block people from knowing where his location is, and that's it.
I wish when I heard of this, I was like, oh shit, we're going to get a dope ass story where he has to protect Luke from outside forces while he's on Tatooine, because then it would give us value to why he's been sitting in a cave for 30 years, right? Like it would make that make sense in a way that's like, okay, that fills in some. This is filling a gap no one fucking cared about. Like, who the fuck cared about Leia being young and, you know, being raised by politicians? Like, the whole point of that was like, oh, she was, you know, she's become this headstrong person who learned politics and is now using it for good. That's like the cool thing about her, right? She becomes a rebel even though she's raised in all this, right? Like, I don't know. It's stripping that away again. And then had this just been people are looking for Luke because someone is sensing that he's tapping the Force as a child, right? And then Obi-Wan has to, you know, come out of hiding slightly to save him, you know.
Yeah, they could have gave us like stealth Obi-Wan in Tatooine, which would be cool.
Yeah, like just lurking around and Luke's just like fucking raking the sand or whatever, like doing whatever, and like has no idea that fucking, you know, there's Sith people coming after him. I don't know. The Sith in this are so boringly evil too. Like they're just like, I'm a bad guy, and then she's like, I am a bad girl and I do bad things. I will kill you, and you're like, but why? And she's like, I don't care. Like
I think they gave. I don't know. I thought her performance was a little dialed back in the 3rd episode and leveled out a little better.
Better in the 3rd episode.
Yeah,
those first two, she's so
a lot.
cheesy. And
for sure.
I don't know if it's the actress. We'll see it going through. You know, maybe she like because this 3rd episode, I didn't hate her. Like they made her a little bit more.
She's just playing the tropey character where I want to be the most powerful because I was held back. Because she's obviously amongst the Inquisitors was the only like human, and they all kind of make a point to point out how weak she is compared to them. So like I get, you know, she's treated as the weakest. She wants to be the most powerful and she feels she earned it. So I get the character. It's tropey.
It's another one though where like the guy she kills, you're like, yeah, you didn't see that coming, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't see that coming.
She's clearly gonna fucking kill you. Like she's a psycho. Like what are you guys? I mean, you're all Sith,
supposed to be able to sense that.
Yeah, she just stabs him, and he's like, "Oh shit," and then dies. And it's like, "Oh, that guy was fucking kind of cool looking, and he had a dope ass lightsaber." And then she just kills him, and you're like, "Oh." And then the other guy's like fucking with her, and I'm like, "But don't you know she killed the other guy?" Like, I don't know. It's very weird. I'm just out on Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were kind of out before this even came out. Yeah. So
Mando has been the only thing.
I think that influences it, obviously.
Sure. No. I wanted to like this. That's the worst part, is I went in like, hell yeah. I was actually stoked.
Yeah, but you didn't want it, though, either.
Well, no. I didn't know I didn't want it yet. I don't think. Maybe I mentioned that it was unnecessary, but I didn't know I didn't want it till I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is dumb." Like I was like, "Oh no, oh boy, this is bad." And
Yeah,
then
I mean, I'm still digging it for what it is. It's a series. I guess I don't put it at the standard of a movie level. I do hate that they're using characters that are movie level standards, like Obi-Wan and Vader. I think those are characters that should have maybe stayed in the movies because they are so huge. Um, and that kind of takes away from them because they do have them at a series level, and I keep that in mind. Like, to me, it's not going to have at the like grandiosa epicness of a movie. It shouldn't.
it
Um,
I will say I did like when they did clash swords, they didn't do twirly flippy do dances. It was just like a kind of a uh it was like a give and
yeah.
take fight. It was like a teasing each other out a little bit there, like more.
Oh, Vader totally knows he was way stronger and was
Yeah,
toying with him the
yeah.
whole time.
But then then he like blaze him in fire, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Like that would
I actually kind of
absolutely,
dug that.
that would absolutely like scar him horrifically. And then because it's not like
His
5 seconds.
perfectly coiffed hair did not burn one bit.
His beard and hair would have immediately
I
caught
know.
fire, and so would his clothes. But instead, he's just laying there like, owie. And then Vader, for some reason, decides to fucking take him out of the fire because I guess he wants to torture him more. But like, Vader's weird in this, right? He's just like, and I don't know, like, Vader
He's emo at this point still.
Vader in the movies, or like in episode 4, is very much like this, right? But that's because it's all like he's now just a lapdog of the Empire. He's just kind of a thing now, right? He's not Anakin. But when it's with Obi-Wan, you would assume at this point, too, so much closer to when they had their fight and he was, changed and became Darth Vader. Like, you'd think that would come through a little bit. But instead, he's just like, I'm going to make you hurt, and I'm evil. I'm going to just kill kids. He kills a kid.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Vader goes through a lot before this point, too. I don't know.
It's just weird.
They really should have done a series on the comics they put out for Darth Vader, because that story is amazing. And I don't know if either of you have read the Darth Vader Marvel comics, but they are 1,000% worth it. They are great. So great.
That's why
awesome.
I think I'm so drained by all this. It's like there's so much good lore within the Star Wars universe that's been expanded out that we don't need to keep visiting characters we've already seen their arc, right? Even Vader, and I'm sure, like, filling in some of that stuff is cool, right? I could see a thing between episodes 3 and 4 of like Vader becoming Vader, like Anakin becoming Vader, makes like that'd be kind of cool. But they probably fuck it up.
It's like literally starts out with him like having to go make his lightsaber because he can't use his old one and shit. Like he has to make his
that's cool.
dark, and like his journey starting from there, and it's just. It's so good because he gets his shit kicked in like real early on too. It's kind of cool.
It's funny because he's got no arms or legs, and like I don't know how the Force works in terms of robotics.
He is like weaker because of it.
Yeah, you would think, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well, his estimated levels of strength are still way higher than everybody else's, though.
His midichlorian count.
Yeah, his whatever count.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just out. I wish they would do more. Like I think that new game, the High Order or whatever, I think that'll be a cool story because it's gonna take place in a time that we've not seen much of. Like there's so much like different eras that they could just go make a whole new thing. Like.
Yeah, and Star Wars doesn't need to do the cash grab thing with names, so they really don't need to like do that. Like I'm actually kind of excited to see like Andor because that's just like seems more Mandalorian style where it's just like going to be simple.
Yeah.
It's going to be Rogue One style, which was great.
Yeah, Rogue One was great. It was another thing we didn't need, but was awesome. Like it's one of those ones is like we didn't need to fill that. Like it's funny they made a whole movie out of like a throwaway line in the beginning of episode 4.
Yeah.
But it was like
they also gave us literally the best Darth Vader scene we've had.
That's true. But again, it makes that fight between Obi-Wan and Vader so weird because Vader is literally beheading people, throwing his lightsaber around, going nuts, and then he fights Obi-Wan, and it's two geriatric fucking men swinging like. Because those old guys, it's
Yeah.
a dude in a suit that's uncomfortable and he can't move his shoulders, and an old guy.
Right.
So like, they just like, it's like 2 weeks go by and all of a sudden he can't fight no more. He literally just like destroyed.
I feel like, see, to me, it just changes the fight. To me, it changes it to like less of they were trying to like kill each other and more that they were like, I don't know. It's so weird. It's so strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Obi-Wan in that fight knew he was going to die and he knew he had to. Like, that's the whole thing. He was buying time and he knew he was going to die. But like, it's just weird that Vader didn't fight better. We just saw him do it. You know, Obi-Wan's been sitting in a cave for 30 years at that point.
Well, we
supposedly.
also have the whole thing where like technology is more advanced in the past than in the future or something weird.
Yeah.
Like the way, because of how the movies were made, everything's super goofy.
It's so dumb. The prequels were dumb. They are where Star Wars went downhill for me because it became about Skywalker rather than about the Force and like mysticism and stuff like that. Like sci-fi mysticism, like basically sci-fi fantasy. They should have just been like made another like I don't know. Like if a prequel was like this is just the downfall of Anakin who then brought down the Jedi Order in some way. Great, but it was like, you're the chosen one. You're prophesied to be special, and everything is special. It's like, and then your son is special, and your daughter is also special, and then Rey is also special because they're all Skywalkers. It's like, oh my God, just please kill me. It doesn't have to be about that. That'd be like if Fantastic Beast was like, and then this guy's also a Potter. The Potter blood is the secret. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't need to be that. It's, I don't know. But I will say, Obi-Wan was probably like a 4 for me, and episode 3 brought it up a point. So it can go up from here. It is getting, the acting is getting better. Even the little girl's a little bit better they give her less scenes of like, I'm so much smarter. I talk and act like a 40-year-old. It's more like she's an inquisitive child. And like she does the little thing where she lies to the stormtroopers and all that, but like it made sense there because he kind of fed her the story. And so yeah, she can be smart enough for that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's like the old CW issue, like where you watch like Dawson's Creek and it's like those are clearly not high school students. Those are people speaking like fucking 35-year-olds.
Speaking of that, Stranger Things season 4 came out.
Yeah,
it did.
And let me tell you, it is good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was good. For me, it was good, but it started off good. It had a lull in the middle, and then at the end, it came back, and it was like, okay, let's go.
All right, so let's rate volume 1, and then we'll talk.
Out of 10, I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay.
8.
Yeah. I'm gonna go like 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It's not perfect. There's some things that annoyed me. I don't love all the characters being geographically separate. Like they kind of did that in the last season where they separated everybody, but at least they were all in the same town. This, it's like a lot of stuff to kind of keep track of. We'll get more into it.
All right, so I have to give Obi-Wan a 7 just thinking about what I would give this, which I give this a 9.
Okay.
It would make sense that Obi-Wan's an 8 off of like my thoughts on that. So
that's fair.
But this is also like a full season-ish type thing. So it's hard
we did watch
it. So, but yeah, I'm going to downgrade Obi-Wan just because I do think this is like a 9, 8.5, 9, probably 9.
In fairness,
because if I didn't get if without the end of the last episode, I probably would have said like 7. But the last episode, I'm like, boom, up to an 8.
In fairness, you will get to our final ratings of Obi-Wan will be the true rating. Right now, we're only rating the first 3 episodes, so it is. It is not the same. I mean, Stranger Things is only half the season, but it is more of a full story. It's 7 episodes so far.
Yeah, they were like an hour and 20-minute episodes.
The last one was like an hour and 30.
Yeah, it's great.
Is that why I wasn't paying attention? Is that why I was like, man, this is long. These are long.
Yeah,
but they didn't feel long to me.
No, they were great.
Wow.
I really enjoyed all of it. The only parts I'm not super into are like the Mike and Will stuff.
Yeah.
Because they didn't build to it. It's just they're like weird, and then they have like 2 conversations. And I liked the one where, like, Mike's an annoying guy, but I think Finn Wolfhard's face is just slappable. Like, I think I just don't like his face now that he's older.
Yeah, he has that weird. I'm not gonna shame him for his genes, but he has like that weird, like the guy from the Verve Bittersweet Symphony gene, that Howard Stern gene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Where he has that like that weird
gosh.
European skinny bird neck, like he's just looking weird. And I'm sorry if anybody looks at that. I'm just saying, like, he looks weird. It makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. He just looks really strange to me.
Yeah,
And I also hate his character because his character is completely unnecessary. His character is only there to be Eleven's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And to be Will's secret crush.
That's the thing, is like, it's so funny that like they are just stringing out Will just being like, "Hey, I'm gay, bro," and I don't even know that he's
super
gonna,
is right.
Yeah, I don't even know that he's gonna say like, "I'm gay and I love Mike." I think he's gonna be like, I think he's scared that he's gonna lose his friend for coming out, because this is in the 80s. You know what I mean? So I don't even know that they're like.
I don't feel like I noticed he was in the previous ones, but this season I really felt like it was real obvious.
Yeah, they're trying this time, because I think that was a
They're
decision.
trying for sure, even the way they're dressing the character with the shirt tucked in and proper. I don't know. I just think the Mike character completely sucks. I think he's worthless. He adds nothing. He's not valuable. He doesn't, like, Dustin is super resourceful and helpful. He's just not. I don't know why he's there. He's just like the Chad of the group for no reason.
He's Eleven's inspiration for like seeing the that love is stronger than anger and stuff. I know, because we'd rather it just be Hopper, and we know eventually it will have to be Hopper that really boosts it to the next level. But
or just another kid.
Well, I feel like he was great in seasons 1 and like 2 and 3, maybe. You know, I have to rewatch 3, but I think 3 is where Dustin and oh my God, what's the cool hair guy? Oh my God, what's his fucking Steve? Dustin and Steve got, really.
Steve's great.
They really came into their own, and like they're kind of having a strained relationship, which is weird too. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but I think Mike's annoying me because they just make him so like pissy moany guy, and like I don't understand why. Yeah, I don't know, but
and they make him really dumb, like oblivious.
Yeah,
he's just like, when they're in the roller skating rink and like the girls are gonna bully 11, it's like, hey, go out there and get your friend.
Yeah. I thought that was weird.
What are you
don't
doing?
Just
and
watch.
Like,
go out there and get your fucking friend. Get your girlfriend.
Tell her you love her. This for?
Tell her you love her. You already did. Like, he's like.
Also, that whole thing where
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't.
It.
Nobody says he does. Basically, he says like, I should have said the thing and I just didn't. But he's at the age where it's like, it is weird. When you're 14, 15 to say it. He said it when he was like 13 or 12, and whatever. But now it's like, means something more when you're a little bit older. So I get that, but I don't know. That's like my only qualm is like him and Will's little story. But I really like. And I don't understand.
There's also the thing with those. The thing with those two is they were best friends. Like, of the group, those two were like the closest friends. And when Will like left and got stuck in the Upside Down, like, he was replaced by 11, and when he came back out, he's basically like had nobody. And I think he's like looking for his like way back in, and I think that's a lot of what was going on in this one, and the sexual tension he has just for Mike. But I think that was a lot of it, was just like he wanted to feel like he was part of the group and like he, one of the friends actually was happy to see him again.
Yeah.
And because he's been feeling way like out of the group for so long already.
Yeah. And the other thing I don't really understand is like what's going on with Jonathan and Nancy. He also looks like a straight crackhead. Like I don't understand why they still have like
he was the rebound, and now she's hasn't been around the rebound, and now she's back interested in the original.
But no, it's more that he's like ready to bail on her. That's what they're like. He's being weird with her, and she was like all in, and then now I don't know. It's weird.
No, I think he is. So he is trying to convince himself that they shouldn't be together because he knows he's
not good enough.
Yes.
For her.
Yes.
So he's like, why bother? Like, so I don't know, man. I think.
Oh wait,
he definitely does look cracked out.
Before I forget,
he's pothead.
Before I forget, can I just say my favorite scene so far was when Steve takes his shirt off to like go dive in the water, and Lucas is like, "Oh my god, look how much hair he has! What happened?" And then Dustin's like, "Yeah, I keep telling him it's gross, but he says the chicks love it." And I love that Max is like, "Let me see," and then she just silently
stares at it.
Right? I love her. I was telling my wife,
yeah.
Well, I was watching tonight because I was finishing up while we were eating dinner, and she hasn't finished, so I feel bad, but I needed to finish the episode. I was like, I gotta say, every time they add a new character, I like them. Like all the Russian characters that we got, like Yuri and the man has no name from Game of Thrones, Argyle. Like every time they add a character, I'm like, man,
I love the faceless man guy in there.
Yeah, like they really do a good job of writing good characters that. To get included, They make sense. Like Max is
they give
awesome.
them time to like breathe too. Like they actually give you a reason to like them or not or whatever.
Agreed.
Everything gets fleshed out really well. I think this season's been the best of doing it too.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that we get a little bit of clarity on what's going on. Like I'm glad that they're getting ready to wrap up the show because I think season 5 is going to be the last season.
Is there going to be another season?
Yes, they've said that they didn't have enough time to finish out the story in season 4, so they're planning season 5.
So the way they're making it sound, I was like, how are they going to finish with this season? Because they're literally spoilers, like talking about the like first general of the main boss. Like they literally pointed out that number 1 is just like the first general of the leader of the Upside Down or whatever. So but then they also kind of made it out like I don't know.
And the Mind Flayer was already in the last season, wasn't that the big thing?
The Mind. Yeah, I think it's weird, like because the first season was Demogorgon, then the second season was like dogs, right?
Second season was just them trying to reopen the Upside Down, I believe, and then
third season's the big Mind Flayer, and now we have a sentient dude.
Second season was Will is still connected with that. Remember, he's got like he's spitting up the like slugs, and I can't remember. I didn't watch all of it again.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know, but
I don't know.
But yeah, it's I'm really enjoying it. There's some things I don't love. It's probably more like an 8 than an 8. Well, maybe an 8.5 versus a 9. Yeah. I was kind of bored with the fucking the Russia stuff for a bit.
Oh, for sure. The Russia stuff.
No, I mean,
for sure. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? They're just gonna be in this Russian prison the whole series?
Yeah, like
it was.
I just didn't need to go back so often. Because not much was going on. Like I'm glad Hopper's back, and I really liked when he was like, "I'm the curse." I liked that whole scene, but that took a while to get to. Where a lot of it was just like, I'm getting beat up, I'm suffering, and I'm gonna escape. I loved when he blew those guys up. Like, there's a lot of good there. There was just parts where I was like, I don't need to go back there per se. Like, we could have waited to show it until the Alaska stuff. But we needed to show Hopper, so. And he got a lot.
I think there's gonna be ties though that we haven't seen yet, and that's why
maybe
they're fleshing that out a little more. I really do think there's gonna be, because obviously the Russians who were in
season 3.
Yeah.
Well,
in
so
Under the Mall.
it's basically, I don't know. I think there's more to what's going on over there, and that's going to be part of the story. Because he got there, or well, I guess they brought him over there. See, I was originally thinking he went when they teased the season that Hopper was still alive, or teased it at the end of the season last year. I was like, wait, did he go into the Upside Down and come back out somewhere else?
Yeah, it's
in
weird.
Russia?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought he got like pulled into a portal.
The way this season played it out, it was like, oh wait, maybe they just scooped him up.
Yeah, this one it's just like he survived the giant explosion,
right?
And then they just took him.
Yeah, I was kind of let down by that a little bit, but
yeah.
I thought his reason for getting there was definitely going through another.
Yeah. But I mean, there was some cool shit in this. Like, there's definitely a lot of Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street
so
nods.
much.
The house, like you said, Robert Englund's in it. That I was really hoping the voice of the Vecna or whatever was gonna be James Earl Haley, who was the second Freddy Krueger from the 2013 because he kind of sounds like him. So it would have been it would have been a cool nod. And the house that Vecna uses. And,
that looks like the Elm Street house.
The fucking spoilers, obviously we're already there, but like that the whole shit at that last episode connecting everything blew my mind a little bit. Like it wasn't
so good.
I was not ready for that. And dude, I was like, this guy's a fucking molester creep. I thought he was gonna cause Elle to be the one to kill everybody because he like did some shit, and then she's like, that's it, I can't trust anyone, I'm killing everyone.
Oh.
Well, I guess I picked up something earlier because I had told my wife like earlier on that I thought he was number one.
When you mentioned
why,
it,
but I did think that early, and then it turned out that way, and I was like, well, that's cool. But I still thought she was the one that killed everybody for sure.
That was really cool, like story beat that they like spread out throughout the season. I kind of like that. So
did anybody else like kind of feel like this dude should get a shot at playing Joker? Maybe.
No.
He was fucking awesome. And just his face structure, yes, his face structure, especially when he went full blown evil. I was like, "Oh, my dog."
His eyes were bloodshot as shit, and his hair was kind of slicked back, and he was talking to her. I was like, "Oh boy,
I guess I can see
Joker."
Yeah, better than the guy that we got. I mean, I know you weren't. I know you didn't hate it as much as us, but man, he was great, and I liked that like he tricked her ass into fucking freeing him, and then it was like, okay, well, I'm also fucking super powerful, and I like that he just gave himself psychic powers basically.
I like that the rumors of number one were like a thing amongst all the kids too, because they like where whatever happened to this number one, and where's number one? And like he was there the whole time being their little
poor Elle though. Like every school she goes to, she's just relentlessly bullied. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
The kids in this, that was one thing I told my wife too. I was like, I don't know, man. I was bullied pretty horribly in middle school and sometimes in high school and whatever. But like nobody was making fun of kids' dead parents and shit. Like most of the time you're just like you're ugly or poor, which is bad enough, but like that girl was like straight up psychopath.
Yeah, really terrible.
Like I would have been fine if she would have hit her in the face with the skate a couple more times.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with Elle killing Paul Reiser as well, because he lied to her ass too. He tricked her, He knew that he was bringing her to Brenner and like it was not going to be good. And he didn't lie about like it was going to suck, but like he didn't tell her that. And so then he just betrays her and it's like, oh, but I'm caring, whatever. I don't know. It frustrated me. I was like, I hope she fucking rips his head off.
Yeah. I liked how brutal it was with like the bones breaking and the eye popping out. Yeah. That was pretty great. How it was pretty brutal.
And I don't understand, like, I still don't know if there's a reason he kills like that, or it's just like, I can, like.
I don't know. Yeah, I think he's
because when
brutal.
Vecna was doing it, I was like, all right, is there a reason? Like, is he breaking their bones into position so he can put them into those different like pillars to do stuff, like to fit their bodies? But like, why is he popping their eyeballs and ripping their jaws? And other than that, he's just a little psycho. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just he's like just a little psycho.
Yeah, I don't. The eyeball thing was the only thing I like. I noticed it on the Everybody Dead in that last episode, and I was like, oh, it's definitely the same guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he's doing the eye thing still.
Yeah, that when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is how Vecna is, like
Right.
he's Vecna. How are we getting that?" You know, like, but it was cool. That was a really cool scene, and it was fun to have like Elle think she killed everybody, and it's like fucking with her, and she's a monster, and then you find out she's not, and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Now she's gonna have her fucking Super Saiyan power, Saiyajin powers back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, but like, is he more powerful now?
I
But
don't
she's
know.
more
'Cause
powerful
the
now.
Because he was already powerful. He was already getting strong. He's able to like come out of the freaking portals. He's like, they showed him like, his tentacles can go through the portals and shit and like get fish and stuff. And he was already killing people by just cerebroing them. And then at the end, didn't it like unleash him more or something?
That was the only bad CG for me, was that lightning shit when he's flying. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it was bad.
We ran out of the budget.
Because she didn't kill him.
I think the fish thing shows that he's still human, more or less, and has to eat. And I think it's a combination of things. I don't know that he's fully like there on his own accord either. Still,
Yeah. And it,
like I think he's become one with the Upside Down because of the leader of all of that shit.
yeah.
And being used as a weapon.
It's very weird
that's-
how the Upside Down works, though, because they're like, everything that's in our world is here, but then they ride up and only her house and like one other house in the neighborhood are there. I'm like, but what about
Right.
the other houses?
And they did the time jump with it.
Yeah, and so her gun's not there, but her sister's light bright's there when her sister wasn't even born then, because it's like, or whatever, she probably didn't have it. Like
I
and
think
maybe
it was only 3 years.
it's 3
or
years,
something
yeah.
like
So
that.
maybe the light
Yeah.
bright was like Mike's,
closet.
or whatever. No, Will was in the closet. The light bright was not.
Oh yeah, they did start doing like time travel shit. That's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of was confused about that,
It's
but I liked it.
the thing about Stranger Things for me is like it's all about those characters, and they're so fucking good. Like
Yeah.
I love every character, even Mike and Will, who are like they're doing weird stuff with. I still love them from the early seasons, and I still want
Yeah.
them to succeed. And the thing is, Mike is just Finn Wolfhard is just a dickhead looking guy to me. Like he looks like he would be an asshole, and so like when he's being nice. Now it doesn't feel as natural because he just looks like he'd be an asshole. Like,
And I don't know that he's really all that good of an actor anymore.
yeah, he's not.
I think he's real stiff now that he's gotten older.
Yeah, he doesn't feel natural. Like
No.
that's what I'm saying. When he's saying like the nice stuff, it doesn't feel natural, so it comes off like he's still an asshole, I think.
Right.
But
I think he got cast in a lot of stuff based on the early Stranger Things stuff, but like
yeah,
now that he's older, like I think it showed a lot in like Ghostbusters too. Just like he's super stiff, and that might have been why he was more or less edited out of that movie.
yeah. Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Afterlife.
That's another one we didn't need. We didn't need it. But anyways,
I'll
all right,
take
let's get into state of play. I mean, unless there's any more we want to talk about Stranger Things, but I could probably go.
I mean,
we don't need to talk too much on it. It's great.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Anything
good
else
stuff.
that we missed it was good. I liked Uma Thurman's daughter. I was annoyed by the mob, the Evil Dies Tonight mob.
We got another Ethan Hawke character. No.
Yeah, Robin is still great. Like I said, every character I love, and I do love that. Like even now, Steve says I would date her, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like I like that he's like she's awesome. They're still like good friends, and I don't know. I like all those characters. Like they work so well together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, cool. So lastly, we have State of Play today, an hour before the podcast. And we got some cool news. There's only like really 2 or 3 things that are really cool. So we'll go over the other ones first. There was Some Stray coming. Stray's the cat game. I don't care for it.
No
I
kidding.
want to
19th.
play that.
That's funny.
I mean, yeah, it looks cool,
I thought it
but I
looked
mean,
interesting. Not
yeah.
it wouldn't be something like I hyper focus on playing, but if it's like I'm like, I don't know what to play.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm gonna play the game where I'm a stray cat.
Yeah, like that's how it looks for me, is like indie game, Game Pass game, like that kind of thing is the way I see it. Then they showed Season, A Letter to the Future, which is some hipster shit, some slice of life hipster
Yep,
game.
I'm out.
Say again?
I said I'm out.
He's out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, completely out. It looks nice. Like it looks pretty, but it's like, bro, if I can't kill shit in level, then go away. Tunic is coming to PlayStation, so cool, but I don't know if I'll play it. A bunch of PSVR 2 stuff, which I found kind of interesting. So PSVR 2, they show Resident Evil 8, a PSVR Horizon game called Call of the Mountain, which looks really neat because there's climbing mountain shit, a Walking Dead game, and No Man's Sky. This is all great, but the only problem is it's VR. And VR is fucking trash. I did notice something though. They said something about one of those VR games, and they said the trailer for the game said out in 2022. And I'm like, bullshit, the PSVR 2 is going to come out this year. Hopefully it does though. So that's maybe PSVR 2 comes out this year. I don't know. I don't believe it.
Again, don't care. Like VR is another one for me that I'm like, just stop.
Yeah. Then we got Eternites, which is some weeb shit. It's another one of these weeb fucking games where it's just like a it's just like a fucking action fighter. Like, what was that game that we all wanted to play but never played? Because it's just some fucking weeb shit. The one with the plants, with the plant lamp enemies.
Oh my god. The Vampire Souls, right? The anime Souls one?
No, not Code Vein. The other one,
the
that
Nexus
looks really
one?
cool. Exactly, Scarlet Nexus.
I tried it.
I'm sure it was pretty cool, right?
I actually just tried it. Nah, it was kind of boring at the beginning.
Okay. Fucking weeb shit with shitty combos. This is more of that. More just shitty weeb combo fighter, but with a little bit of dating sim. So maybe I'll play it. So that's Eternites.
You're gonna play for the days.
Yeah, dude. Shit. Get my virtual dick wet. Then we got Roller Drome, which I think looks really neat, but I don't fuck with multiplayer stuff. It's like a cell shaded roller skating arena shooter.
You actually did get kind of hyped when it was going.
Dude, watch the little trailer. It looks.
I was watching with you.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I just know that it's not going to work for me because it's going to be multiplayer focused, which means some fucking twerp is going to sit at home and just play that shit all day and be doing fucking 360 no scopes on me while I'm just trying to get my fucking blade on. So I'm not really like, I don't know. Also, Ubisoft just put out a free to play roller derby game and it looks stupid, but Roller Drome looks kind of cool. Then we did get a trailer for the Callisto Protocol, which looks fucking awesome. It's basically the guy who directed, I believe the director,
Dead Space, right?
Dead Space.
Yeah.
And it's just him doing Dead Space again. And the fucking crazy thing is he's also remaking Dead Space. So we're going to get 2 Dead Space games basically in the same damn year. But Callisto Protocol looked really awesome. It's straight up Dead Space. Your HUD.
I thought it was a Dead Space game at the beginning of it.
It is basically. It's the director of Dead Space making a spiritual successor while he is simultaneously remaking Dead Space. So that's cool. And then we got the gangster news. So we got Resident Evil 4 remake announced for March 24th of next year, which is super crazy. They have a specific date picked out. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake, whatever. It's going to be Resident Evil 4, but remade. I never played Resident Evil 4.
Well, they've done a little extra work with the other ones that were remade though, so I wouldn't be surprised to expect a little bit of change.
I'm pretty sure the Resident Evil remake 2 and 3 are amazing. I mean, I played a few hours of part 2 and it was incredible. I just stopped because I don't ever finish anything. So I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 4 remake will be awesome. Resident Evil 8 is going to be on PSVR. Then we got
What they said about Resident Evil 8 too is it's going to have full head tracking, I guess, which I don't know if that was in 7, but like, I don't.
it should. I mean, isn't that what VR is about?
That's what I thought, but I read about that and I was like, if they're mentioning it, so I just didn't know. I don't.
I wonder if that means if you move your head, like you can like avoid damage. I don't know.
Oh, that would be weird.
So yeah, the last three are which is super awesome. Spider-Man Remastered comes to PC. That's super fucking great news because Spider-Man's one of the better games on PlayStation. It's one of the better exclusives, and it's fucking Spider-Man, dude, and everybody deserves to play it. So it's coming to PC. That's pretty neat. I think they'll keep Miles on the PS5 though to have like a little carrot to like give everybody Spider-Man, but then be like, well, if you want Miles, come over. Like this is like a little offering.
I think they'll release it in like a year or two after this one gets released.
Probably, yeah. But at least in the meantime, we'll get this one, which is great. Spider-Man Remastered, or Spider-Man in general, is just an awesome game. I've beat it twice, I think. So that's great. So I definitely recommend to play that. Then we saw Final Fantasy 16. Big ass trailer for Final Fantasy 16. So I think it looks great.
It is beautiful, and I really like the art style a lot. Like I really like the European styling of the characters and whatever. I'm annoyed that they're showing all of the espers or the summons or what
Eidolons.
Yeah, whatever they call them.
I think there was a reason for that though. Me and Jesse were talking about it on the Instagram live thing. I think they're going to be bound to people and you're going to be able to like be one.
Yeah, I think he's Ifrit or Ifrit.
Yeah. Because the thing is, the boss fights, I like how the fights, dude, the fighting game shit comes up. Like, you get 2 health bars. I kind of think some of those health bars and life bars on enemies are placeholder. I think they look kind of shitty. They're just red bars.
Yeah.
But those monsters, those Eidolons, Espers, whatever, summons, when they're fighting, those are giant models. Those aren't like in Final Fantasy 15 or 13 when you're fighting Shiva. She's like just a little bit bigger than you. So this shit might be fucking kaiju fights, because if you look at the official art, like the illustration, it's like a phoenix fighting an Ifrit or some shit like that. It's 2 summons fighting. Mm-hmm. Like the art for Final Fantasy 15 was Noctis and Luna together or some shit. I don't know. No, it was Luna like sleeping. And this game's art is just straight up 2 summons just scrapping. And the trailer showed a ton of summons and it showed a lot of fighting. And I think I'm really excited that the game is going to be super focused on summons this much.
Right, because they gave us nothing in 15.
Yeah, 15 they just gave us a weird, hey, whenever we feel like it, we'll give you the ability to summon them in the fight when you don't even need them. Like, that was such a weird thing in 15 where you could never call forth your summon. It would, every now and then they would just be like, oh, do you want to summon Rama? Just hold the buttons and he'll come out. And it's like, no, I don't want to use a summon right now. I'm fighting 3 soldiers in a field. I don't need him right now.
Right.
I will say the combat in this is not my cup of tea. It looks exactly like 15 to me.
It looks a lot like 15.
I can't tell what weapon he's using, what the fuck is going on. Like, it seems like he has a spear at some point and a sword, and I don't know, like...
See, I thought it looked like 7. Less than... I don't remember 15's
it's
combat,
a lot
I guess,
of, like,
as much.
Teleporty... Like, he's, like, flying around all over the place, where 7 was more grounded.
Yeah.
Like, you're...
Yeah.
attacking.
I also thought, like, stop shaking the fucking camera every time you hit an enemy.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
you'd hit the enemy and the camera would kind of, like, zoom in and out and shake. And it's like, don't do the Nolan Batman fighting shit where you got to fucking, like, just let me see my character fighting. Which maybe they were just doing that for, like, the effect of the trailer. But... I kind of see what you're saying, Aaron, where I did notice the combat. I was like, ooh, that looks a little bit too much like 15's kind of dashy, dashy ass combat. But I did see one where he's got like an enemy against a wall or something, and he's got like, I don't know, 2 blades or some shit. He's hitting them with some crazy attacks, and it looked really neat. And I saw that the weapon wasn't phasing in and out, so that's good. You're actually holding your weapon. So hopefully there'll be class diversity
Yeah,
in the build.
let me say, having said what I said about the combat, I still am very hyped for this. I think the stories looks like it's going to be a fun story. It looks like it's going to be a cool world. I really like all the character designs and everything. I'm just worried about the combat because I didn't love the combat in 15. But like you said, I do think he's holding silver, like metal weapons at least. Because like the thing about, I'm an RPG gamer and I like gear. Like I like to find gear, and I say this all the time. So that's just something for me that's like a kind of a killer of games. Is like I want to find new weapons, and in 15 you're just getting those ancestral shit, and you get there's weapons to gear out your other guys, but my main character, I want to be like, it's like fantasy. I want to have cool stuff.
Yeah. I didn't hate the ancestral weapon thing as much, but I mean, that was just, it didn't bother me as much.
Well, I wish there was like at least armor to get or something, like give me something else.
Yeah. I know, I get that.
They've never really done that in Final Fantasy where you see your gear on your armor ever, because they're like very specific character designs.
Yeah.
But I would have liked that at least as some kind of like trade.
Hopefully. I mean, I think they'll probably do that in this game where we can see some differences. I hope so.
Yeah.
And I hope we can actually like be a mage if we want. Or I don't know. We'll see. Because like, is it going to be a party system? Like, how is the party system going to work? Do we only fucking control the guy that we have? I don't know. I still think it's going to be dope. I'm still going to be there day one, obviously. Let's go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I'll get the best 100%. Edition if I can. Unless it's something that I don't want, like some fucking dumbass, like...
It's usually a statue or a helmet where it's like $400. Like, I'm not doing that shit. Usually a statue will deter me if I don't really want it. I finally took out my Melania statue the other day.
How does it look?
Because I figured why not just take her out and let her start collecting some dust.
Yeah, I need to build shelving to put all mine up, but I have to figure out how I want to do it. I'm getting flooring done. I didn't mention that, but I just am paying $10,000 for new floors because I have carpet upstairs, and I was just going to do upstairs because it would be cheaper, but then I'm like, I'm just going to do all of it. I'm just going to do it all, rip the Band-Aid. It's going to basically wipe my entire savings, but fuck it, YOLO, Like, I'll have a little bit of money left, but not much, which is okay. I will survive.
And then last we got Street Fighter 6. I'm super excited. I'm very, very excited. It looks great. The trailer started and it just showed like a city, and it said Metro City on a billboard, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. And it happened, and it was really great.
It went straight into like open world before anything. Yeah,
very weird. And they didn't really talk about it.
So it shows a character in a hoodie running around a city, and it also shows him doing a little show you can, and like breaking a box, which means you'll be able to do little silly attacks and like break boxes and shit and explore an open metro city, which is fucking amazing. It looks pretty bad. It looks stupid. Like it looks like it's not going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm going to probably really like it. So a couple of things. One, with current fighting games, what they do is you make a little avatar, and if you want to go online and play people online, like in Guilty Gear and stuff and a lot of other fighting games, you make a little cartoon avatar, and you can walk around a virtual arcade, and you could see other people's little avatar, and you can walk up to them and say like, hey, do you want to play? And then you guys walk over to an arcade machine, and then boom, you can fight each other. So for sure, I'm betting money, they're going to make a virtual world where you can go hang out in virtual arcades and like see each other. It is the next step up from what Guilty Gear and all these motherfuckers have been doing with their little chibi characters in chibi arcades. Now we're going to have like to scale, hey, you're in the city, and like oh, do we want to play casuals? Let's go to this arcade because there's casuals. Or do we want to play ranked? Let's go to the ranked. And when they have big community events like Capcom Pro Tour shit, you'll probably need to walk your fucking character to the fucking Pro Tour place to play. Like, that's what I think is maybe that might be thinking reaching too far, but definitely doable. So I think this super worries me. I think you're going to create a character and you're going to be able to level your character and make your own fighter. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. One, they kind of did it in Street Fighter EX back in the 90s where they gave you a character named like Adam or something like that. And he was a dude in a red jumpsuit. And you can go into this mode and level and get points. And you could buy moves and you could add moves to this character, and you could basically customize your own Street Fighter. Like, you couldn't customize visually, but you could give them whatever moves. Like, I want them to have a flash kick, and I want them to have a Hadouken, or I want them to have a Sonic Boom and a Tatsu. Feel me? And so if you watch the fucking trailer, he's running around. I notice he breaks the box thing. I'm like, okay, that's going to be fucking annoying because it's going to be look for boxes to break. Also climbs a ladder, which means, okay, vertical. He goes up to an NPC who's some Spanish-looking man, and they both put their dukes up to each other like, yeah. And then the camera pans out, and that shitty ass looking character that is for sure not a full ass modeled character, for like a 1/10 of a second, you see like them two squared up like versus like a match. So I think you're going to be able to walk around the city and fight shitty NPCs with pre-made move lists. Like, if you go and look at it, you'll be able to see what I'm saying. Like, so that's what kind of worries me, but I really like that idea a lot. That you're going to be able to customize and create your own avatar Street Fighter and build it and then fight people with it.
I don't know. It looked like the guy from the trailer just with a hood on to me. The main guy that you hate. He's wearing the same gloves. He's wearing the same gloves. I bet you that's the story mode, and you're him, and you're going between.
Oh, and you're Luke?
Yeah, you're like Luke, and you're training, and then you go to each tournament to fight a different guy.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. That would be better because I'm a little bit afraid I wouldn't want that much control. But I did see that character that he walks up to, and that is not a main character in the game. And it pulls away, and you can see, like, you're about to fight that guy.
Yeah, which is weird.
And I'm like, holy shit, are they going to... Because games have done that. Tekken has done it, and so has Soul Calibur has done it, where they'll give you a story mode, and they'll just design generic-ass NPC characters for you to beat up. And they'll just give them, like, random move lists. Like, just give that one Lizard Man, or give this one Mitsurugi's move list and make him look like a chef. So... I think that's kind of cool that you'll be able to go around Metro City. That's also a fun way to add Easter egg characters and stuff like that don't necessarily have to be fully fleshed out. The trailer did show a little glimpse of blonde dreads, which is the character Damned, which is the first boss from Final Fight Stage 1, which would be super fucking cool if we got that character. That's very neat. But they did show us two new characters. They showed gameplay of Ryu, Luke, Chun, and some new guy named Jamie, who has a long kind of kung fu ponytail, and he does drunken master breakdancing. And it looks pretty awesome. And then they showed a girl who they did not name, but she's like an e-girl, like kind of like one of those little like kawaii Japanese. She's got like little like fucking headphones on with like little like video game robot buddies on them, and she looks kind of cool.
She's fighting Chun-Li. It looked like she was like Chun-Li's student, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know what she is. I don't know who or what the fuck she is, but she looks kind of neat. we could see how we'll see how she fights.
I didn't like
Chun-Li looks
Chun.
good.
I didn't like the way Chun-Li looked personally. Like I
Oh,
don't
I was just
love.
about to say Chun-Li looks incredible.
See, I didn't love all the graphics. It looks. I don't know. It's like Uncanny Valley a little bit for me.
Yeah, I think her face looks amazing because they got her face real bad in Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was so bad they had to go back and fix it. Like it's like a whole meme. If you look up Chun-Li Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite face, it's real bad. Like they had to patch the game because her face was that bad. And I think this time they got her face looking super fine, and she looks super cool and mature. I think Ryu looks super awesome.
I'm sorry. What's
I'm
his
just
name?
Ryu. But I did notice some really cool stuff, like just breaking down like the split seconds of the combat, the collision detection on the different attacks, and the way that the characters' bodies are being hit looked really awesome. And then I did notice like some kind of Perry-esque deflection going on with like Luke. And I don't know, man, because that's going to be the next huge thing, is to find out what the fuck are they going to do with the gameplay? What weird thing are they going to bring in? Street Fighter V had the whole everybody gets a button and everybody has a personal action. I didn't really like that. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. I think it works really great for fighting games for everyone to have a personal different action. But I think that it kind of like causes balancing to become an issue. But I don't know. Now that's it. Now it's just going to be watching. Dude, I went online on my Instagram right afterwards, and my entire feed scrolling was just a Street Fighter trailer. So now it's just going to be watching these fucking nerds break down every frame and try to figure it out, because I started finding shit immediately. So I know that they're editing. So by the time we get off and I go to YouTube, I'm going to have at least 2 or 3 videos to watch breaking down the trailer. I don't know, man. I'm excited. My job today was like, oh, you didn't hear there was a story leak, and from a good source. And I'm like, bullshit. What? So he starts telling me like, oh, the story leak is that Ryu is retired, and Juri Han is going to be the villain in this game, which makes complete perfect sense. But then he's like, and then she grows giant and becomes a kaiju. And then I told him, shut up, I don't want to hear anymore. So he's like, no, man, you have to hear it. It gets worse. It gets worse. And I'm like, bullshit. What's your source? He said some name, but I've never heard. But he says it's reliable. I kind of trust the guy. I'm hoping he's wrong. I can definitely see Juri Han becoming the boss for sure. I can 100% see her becoming the final boss. And she kind of deserves it for 100%. Actually, I'm going to be kind of bummed if it's not her, because I think by now, get rid of Bison, still put him in the game, but get rid of him, but still put him in the game, or make him Omega Bison. But I hope she doesn't turn into a kaiju. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. There's so much to say, but not really. I mean, it looks great. Go watch the trailer. The kung fu guy looks good. The combat looks great. It looks like Street Fighter. They're still a little bit deformed. We usually get a pretty big jump in how the game looks, but it kind of looks like 5, but a little less exaggerated. But it's still exaggerated. Like their feet aren't as big as they are in 5, but they're still pretty big. But I think it looks really fucking great. I think it looks awesome. Fuck yeah, man! I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. I don't care, but I'm excited for. I'm excited for my fighting game.
I wish I could
friends.
give 2 cents, but I don't have 2 cents to give.
No, that's fine.
No, and it's good. I mean, somebody has to care about it. So there's a huge community.
It's made for somebody.
Yeah, and I just meant somebody on the show. Sorry, that sounded condescending. But what I mean is, like,
no, it's fucking Street Fighter. It's
one of us, should care about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I did notice they didn't lay out an exclusively on PlayStation thing. Which with 5, it was like boom, exclusive. So who knows? Maybe this one won't be exclusive and it'll be cross-plat. we would hope, because obviously we want more people to play more games, and I mean Street Fighter V pretty much caused the entire fighting game community and the entire movement of all fighting games was basically on the PlayStation 4. Like that was it. All tournaments were just PlayStation only because Street Fighter was only on PlayStation. So they're like, fuck it, everything's on here. Then Xbox only really has Killer Instinct, and that game's really awesome, but it's also really old, and there's not really a huge community for it. I would love to play it. Like if I ever buy an Xbox, I will 100% go buy Killer Instinct. But and it is a really awesome game. Like you should probably try the game out, James. It is really cool, and its combo system is rhythm based and fairly.
Isn't that game older than Dirt?
Yeah, but it still looks fucking great, and also it's had so many.
I was gonna say I thought I played a Killer Instinct a long time ago, but
Yeah, it was on the Xbox 360. No, the Xbox One, which was the one for the PS4. What was the PS4's competition? Xbox One.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the Xbox One. It was a launch title, but it also got patched and expanded on for years to the point where they like tripled the roster or some shit. So it's got a lot of content, and it is a very good game. It looks really great, and it's got a really cool combo system. But yeah, so hopefully we don't.
I just get bored with fighting games real quick if I'm not playing with friends.
True. Yeah, hopefully it's open to other consoles, but there is a chance that they lock it down again. But I would rather see it. I'd rather see it go to Xbox and PC and then bring cross-platform, because the more the merrier, basically.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's our episode. It's a lot of stuff.
No, it's not.
We are nerds.
You posted a
left?
thing, so I have to read the shit.
Oh, that's
3
true.
hours, you piece of shit. Even though we told you not to post the shit, here we
Dog's
are.
already asking to go out.
And fucking, it's gonna be 11 o'clock. Even though I said, please, let's not be at 11 o'clock. All right, Brian Marshall says, hello, nerds. Stranger Things was absolutely amazing. Vecna is such an awesome villain this season, and I really love the backstory we've been getting for 11 and number 1. Is it just me, or should Steve and Robin get together? Well, they're pushing that pretty hard.
Yeah.
As for PlayStation, I'm really hoping they announce something cool for this year. Ultimately, I want God of War release date, but I know that's not happening. I'm more looking forward to Jeff Keighley's Summer of Gaming next week, and hopes for some good games at the end of this year. What are you guys looking forward to from those events? So I don't know Jeff Keighley's thing, so I have nothing I'm looking forward to in gaming. Honestly, it's kind of sad.
Well, Final Fantasy, basically. That's the big one. The Jeff Keighley stuff is he's basically taking over E3. This next episode is going to be another one because
they're not doing E3, so that Summer Game Festival.
Summer Game Fest is the new E3, basically.
Yeah.
Like today's State of Play was Sony's Summer Games Fest event. This was the Summer Game Fest from Sony. It's basically Keighley is basically the new E3 guy. There's like 4 video game things happening this weekend.
Basically,
there's like there's a bunch of like, dude, by the time Monday comes, by the time the next episode comes, there's gonna be a whole slew of shit, more stuff. The good thing, not one of them, Ubisoft isn't doing Ubisoft does a conference every year, or like a showcase every year in June, but they're not doing one this year. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they're definitely pushing those 2 characters. But yeah, I mean, we talked about not what we hoped to see. We saw what we saw. So we saw the dope shit, Final Fantasy, Street Fighter.
Yep. All right, and Ernesto Navarro says, hey, nerds. Hope everyone is doing well. My thoughts on Obi-Wan, well, very much felt like a TV show, first off. Even in the first 5 minutes, even if the first 5 minutes were pretty cool. Some not so great acting, and I nodded off on one of the episodes. Overall, I'll finish it in hopes of an amazing action scene. Other than that, what I've seen is mediocre at best. As far as gaming goes, I'm very excited that the new Modern Warfare is coming out. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Stranger Things. I stopped at season 2, but if this season is good, I'll catch up. Love you guys. Be safe out there. And one more thing. What do you guys think of Johnny Depp's win? Are you happy, sad, think it's a win against crazy bitches everywhere? Stay cool, nerds. I don't care. That's the thing. Everyone hyped this whole. Who gives a fuck? They're 2.
Well, I have had
assholes.
it on in the background at work, and I've enjoyed it because she looks like a complete crazy bitch that made up a bunch of bullshit. And I'm glad that when they read the verdict, that it basically everybody agreed in the jury that she made up all of her shit. There was a countersue thing that she won like $2 million off. That she countersued like this, like it wasn't even actually Johnny Depp, so it was kind of weird, but
Yeah.
it was whatever. She lost big time. I think she'll probably do something to. I don't like. There's to me. There's like sure signs that a lot of it was bullshit. Like, because if she was truly like raped with a like whiskey bottle, like she would have like really, when they read the verdict about that being false, she would have cried or broke down on that a little bit, I would have thought, but she didn't, because that would be quite traumatizing, I would imagine. So I don't know. The thing that's been the best about it is just the clips we've gotten of all the craziness. It's really just entertainment by entertainers. In the end, it doesn't really matter. It's all stupid bullshit
rich
that boosts
people.
somebody's career, and it's whatever. But
Yeah,
it's
I
been
mean,
entertaining, so I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. They're celebrities and it's upper echelon shit, so it's hard to take it serious. And what the media wants us to see and allows us to see, they televise this, but they don't televise the fucking Ghislaine Maxwell case. And
Well, it is based on where it's at and everything, but yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, sure, face value. Yeah, it is. It is nice to like see him be able to overcome that, because constantly there is always yeah, it's part of me kind of like, oh, that's good. Like, you can't always just get one over on like when you hear the clip and she's like basically saying like, oh yeah, sure, go tell the world that you a man or a victim, ha, I'd fucking dare you. And
Right.
yeah, like it's good to, it feels good to know that can actually, like, that the truth can come out. But then again, we don't know the fucking relationship. Obviously he's a fucking dope head, or has been, and that's fine. You're allowed to be a drug addict if you want, and whatever.
Bro, he's got his own island. Like,
I'm sure
he should be allowed to do
I'm
whatever.
sure I'm sure it's not, I'm sure he wasn't completely innocent in all counts, but from what it looks like, yeah, she was a pretty terrible, manipulative, fucking horrible person. So like, yeah, sure. But I mean,
it's all the fake phony shit she does in court that makes it the best. Like, there was I saw a clip
the
the other
moment
day
where she pretended to
was
wipe her nose to take a picture and shit like that.
Oh no, the new one is she's fake writing on her pad of paper, and
I
one
saw-
of her lawyers are sitting behind her and like watching it, and like rolls his eyes and shakes his head like looking at it. And they like zoom in, you can see her pen's not even on there, but she's like fully acting out like she's writing, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. But pretty much, like, in the end, face value, I know how I'm supposed to feel about it, but in the end, it's like, I just feel it's something that we're being fed. So I don't really
I'm
believe
taking it at its base, which is just entertainment.
Yeah,
I
entertainment.
really don't give a shit what either of them the outcome of either of it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just entertainment. Like, I saw online somebody was saying like, oh my God, she has to pay $8.5 million or $10 million, but her net worth is $8 million. And I'm just like, bitch, do you think a dollar of that comes out of her pockets? Like, none of, I don't know. They're rich people, bro. That
Right.
doesn't affect them. They're still going home to their mansions. And I'm still sitting here, but whatever.
It's funny. Yeah.
Shit got real for a second.
I don't care. They're two rich
Yeah.
assholes who their life is fake and everything about them is fake, and they're psychotic because they're high-paid actors who have to be crazy to do what they do. So, fuck them both.
Exactly.
I partially have to argue on the fakeness of Johnny Depp just because he did one of the things that any of us would probably say if we got rich we would do, which is buy an island. He's doing this and has like a jar of cocaine. Like,
Sir, he's fake.
be
He
real.
makes a voice up. He changed his own accent and voice like in casual conversation. The guy's a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be true.
Listen to him.
Rich
Listen
dude,
to him
does
in
some
interviews.
real
do that.
shit.
Rich fucking wackos do that kind of shit. Madonna did it. Madonna speaks with a British accent. Lindsay Lohan does it. Lindsay Lohan speaks with a British accent.
That's what I'm saying.
Or every now and then she speaks with a Middle Eastern accent because she's Muslim now, so she speaks like a little Middle Eastern lady who can't speak English.
All these actors are cuckoo bananas. It takes that
I'm sorry.
to be that.
I still got to give him props for buying an island with his millions of dollars. I think
You know
that's
what he
funny
could
as
do?
shit.
Buy food for fucking millions of homeless people. Like fucking saves.
Yeah.
Like he could.
Or buy an island.
Yeah. Guess what should happen to his island? It should sink into the fucking ocean, suck his soul
Oh
up
my
with it.
gosh.
If you
Come
have the
on.
money to buy an island and you don't,
Be mightier than thou
And you-
because he's got millions.
no. If you have that much money and you ain't using it to help anybody else, fuck you. Just fuck
It's
you.
all relative.
Yeah, but you could honestly say that about anybody. That's
Yes,
bullshit.
I do. Eat the fucking rich. Eat them
Bro,
all.
like you're richer than people below you. Like, what does that mean?
I'm
like,
not buying
you could
an
also help
island.
other people lower than your class level. You know what I mean?
I could
if you're gonna
technically
go
not-
that technical,
No. I'm not buying an island. I don't have more money than I could actually spend in my lifetime. I'm going broke putting floors in my house so I don't have gross carpet. Okay, I'm not rich. I'm richer than I was.
You're richer than a lot of people in the other world.
Yeah, but that's like saying that I'm being selfish by buying a Breath of Fire record that I don't need for $40.
I think
when
everybody
I
should like
could
mind
give
their
that
own
to a-
business and let them people spend their shit how they want to spend it.
Sure.
They earned it.
He owns the
Yeah.
island. Ain't nobody stopping him. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
hate on it. I don't give a fuck, and I'm not gonna feel
Yeah.
bad for hating on rich people because fuck rich people. Yes, I'm richer
Yeah.
than some people, but I'm not rich enough that I can give them money. I give money to homeless people when I have money. I do it.
Oh, I don't. I'll buy them food. But
I
I mean,
buy food
yeah,
for
so
homeless
in
people
the
when
end,
asked.
Definitely pro buying them food or something over
Yeah.
giving them the cash.
I just don't simp
Yeah.
for rich people. I'm not here to be like, they worked hard and got it. I mean, sure, Johnny Depp did movies and shit, and he acted and great. That's fine.
I'm not saying they
I'm not here
worked
for,
hard.
like-
They negotiated well.
I'm not
They
here
got
to simp
overpaid.
for fucking Elon Musk. He can get shot into the fucking sun. I'm not here to simp for fucking
he's
Amazon
already
buddy. He can
making
get
his
shot in,
downfall.
he can get shot into the fucking sun. All of them. They're all trash. They're all garbage people. They did nothing of value for the fucking world. I mean, I shop on Amazon, so that's pretty cool.
Whoa.
But fuck them.
You don't think Elon Musk, as much as you hate him, hasn't done something for the
No.
world?
He didn't do shit. You know he didn't make the cars, right? He didn't even design the cars. He bought the company.
Mm.
He didn't do any of it. He just owns it because his dad owned a
And
fucking
do you think
diamond
the
mine in
company
Africa.
would have grown and they would have been more accessible without the help of somebody that paid for that?
Are we, sir? We're gonna get into a
It's
deep
fine.
conversation here.
No.
We're
So,
never gonna
look,
agree
anyways,
on this.
So with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, yeah, it's whatever. I mean, yes, I feel like there's a way I'm supposed to feel about it, and I but for some reason, like mentally, I should be like, yeah, fuck yeah, good on him, and fuck that bitch, which I do kind of feel that way. If that really is the case, then yeah, dog, good on him and fuck that bitch. But like I said, since they're rich fucking celebrities, I don't know what to believe. This is stuff that we're being fed. But from the way it looks, yeah, man, if she really did fucking lie and fucking manipulate and say, oh, I'm going to fucking make shit up and fucking lie on you. And to tell you the truth, it really looks like that. And it really does. So yeah, so if that's the case, then I'm happy that she suffers. But other than that, they're both fucking rich, so. Anyways, we are nerds. You can catch us at Nerd Podcast on Instagram. Everywhere else, it's Nerds the Podcast. Go to Twitch. Watch us play video games. I'm very good at video games. I also just got my I'm very good at video games shirt and it came in the mail. I got my mug. It looks very nice. I got my sticker that is really small. Don't buy the stickers right now. We got to resize them. Don't buy the stickers.
I don't
They're
think you
super
can
small.
resize them.
Then
That's
fuck,
just what
dog.
it gives you.
Then buy the sticker sheet because it's worth it to buy the sticker sheet and get the whole set of stickers instead of buying a single. Or
What if they're even
Yeah.
smaller on the sheet?
Oh shit, I don't know. But yeah, we did it. It's been a long one, but it's a big day,
I might
and
just take the stickers off there completely.
maybe, yeah, we might need to do that because I think it's a waste. It's not fair. It's fucking worthless.
Right.
But fuck it, man. We love you,
We mean
and
it.
we'll see you guys next week at some point. It's a big week for games, so keep an eye out. Go watch the Street Fighter trailer.
Bye.
Take care of yourself.